High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
This is an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Treasure Valley Game Night, presented by Mountain West Bank. Brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. And tonight's Power Boosters, Evade Pest Management, Meridian Plumbing, College of Western Idaho, Big Judd's Meridian, Metro Appraisals, Pacific Residential Mortgage. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Clay Hatfield along with Ryan Luke for the Battle of the Mountains, #1 against #5, Rocky Mountain against Mountain View. And Ryan, here we go.
Here we go. This is big-time college football in the state of Idaho. 2 top 5 matchups, and not only that, but huge rivals. Looking forward to a fantastic game today.
Well, Rocky won the toss and deferred. They'll be kicking off. It'll be off the toe of number 35, Dawson Anderson. Short little kick up to the 21. Fielded there by number 14, Justin McGee. McGee about a 10-yard return. That's where Mountain View will set up 1st and 10.
1st and 10, and he ran a long way to get a couple of yards is all. But good field position, starting out here at the 26-yard line, heading in the right direction, and hot day. But I expect a good football team between 2 great teams.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees out in the open. It's going to be about 120 down there on the turf. So those guys are going to be nice and toasty all day. Dawson Wall comes out, leading the Mountain View offense. He'll set up immediately in shotgun. Twin receivers down low, twin receivers up high. And we are ready to get the first offensive series underway. Maybe.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. So big-time spread offense here by Mountain View. I think they learned a few lessons last week versus Meridian that they want to throw the ball. They had good success towards the end. darn near pulled it off. It looks like actually there was some blood or something.
I think it was a uniform issue. He had his undershirt hanging out too low, and the refs busted him for it. So far it's a close called game. So Dawson Wall in shotgun again. Now that all that's been settled. Drops back, quick hit. Dropped and blocked out of the air by number 9.
Cade Stedman lining up at the defensive tackle position. Good penetration. They're trying to get the ball out. Those offensive line were trying to release, but just explosiveness. Stedman is a recruit. I mean, he's on the watch list to maybe play at the next level.
And he got his big old paw up there in that lane. And like you said, good penetration early on by that defensive line. Sets up a 2nd and 10. Wall in shotgun again. This time a handoff That goes to number 3, Grayson Flatten. Flatten across the 40 to the 42. Pickup of 20 yards on the play and a first down for Mountain View.
Yeah, what a heck of a run. I mean, that was tough. He kept on his feet, and he's not a big kid. Number 44, Justin Bunt, had to come in and make the tackle at the end, and he actually rode him for a while.
That's one thing. If Mountain View can get to that second level, they're going to be successful tonight. D-line is strong for Rocky, but the question mark is with their linebacking core and with their defensive field. And there's Flatten again. This time picks up about 3 on the play.
Yeah, just right off that left side, and there's kind of just a zone blocking scheme to the left, but it looks like he's coming up a little gimp, hurting on his as he's down. He's holding his foot out. But just a zone blocking scheme up the left side, and you saw try to get a good push. It looked like Rocky was able to do it. Now, Rocky, for their defensive line, very athletic looking. They move well, and they pursue the ball really well.
Yeah, and you know, we mentioned earlier, one of the concerns that Coach Kulik had for Rocky was what happens after that first line of defense. What happens once the ball gets past that D-line? It's a young linebacker core. It's a young defensive backfield. And that's where I think Mountain View is going to be able to take advantage tonight if they're going to win this ball game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's huge. The other thing we got to keep into consideration, too, is Mountain View is going to spread you out, right, which means you got to bring some defenders, some defensive backs on the field. And can those defensive backs step up in the hole and make a stop? And I think that's a big question mark, as you mentioned. How are those defensive backs going to be able to support the run versus just linebackers?
And it looks like Flatten might be fighting cramps already.
Hey, you mentioned it, 120 degrees on the field at least. And anytime if you've ever played on a turf field, you know how difficult it can be. And I mean, those conditions, it's nice, you know, in a lot of ways. But in a lot of ways, you're hating life.
Yeah, it gets toasty quick down there.
And it might be a little bit more than just cramps, though. The guy, he has his helmet off now.
That would be a big loss this early in the ball game for the Mavericks.
Yeah, you don't want to go down, and it's tough too. It's anybody. It's tough to go down, but in a game like this, and they're bringing the card over, that's not good.
Well, while they're tending to that, make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $9.95. Click the button in the top right to order. You can also follow IdahoSports.com on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. Click the icons in the top left to follow us now. And game picks. Did you get your Gridiron game picks in this week? Compete every week against other high school sports fans and the so-called experts here at IdahoSports.com for free. Win weekly prizes and the chance to be crowned the regular season picks champion. It's okay if you start now because the weekly winners get $25. If you're the regular season grand champion, you win $100, and a $250 donation will be given in your name to your favorite Idaho high school athletic program. Best of all, it is free to play. So all sorts of stuff going on IdahoSports.com, including the Friday Night Flash. Stay up on games from all over the state there. So if you want it, we probably have it. And if we don't have it, send us an email and let us know that you want it.
Well, Clay, 45 seconds into this game, you already have a major injury coming to one of your top performers. You know, hopefully it's not anything too bad. But, boy, to be out, he's just a junior, so he has another year left. But that's a tough loss.
That means the backup's going to get some work here. And it's going to be number 14, Justin McGee.
Yeah, well, we talk about the linebackers, and Gage Tanner, a senior, he actually is a recruit, and he's the elder statesman of the linebacking core, and he made good pursuit from his middle linebacking position. He does have that dinged up hand, though, so he's playing with that soft cast.
Trip receivers high on 3rd and 7 now for Mountain View. Ball drops back, sets up screen, and read beautifully by the defense for Rocky Mountain. They were all over that play.
Justin Bunt has showed some good pursuit on 2 plays, and that one he just stayed with the receiver. You know if an offensive lineman releases you, you should stay at home because something's going to happen unless you're that good. But he stayed home and he was able to make the wrap up.
So they did pick up a yard. It's going to be 4th and 6, and Mountain View is keeping their offense on the field. Dawson Wall still out there getting the play call from the sideline. So see if maybe he's looking at picking up a first down or a little pooch kick and he drops back. He's going to be punting this. Nice punt all the way down to the 10-yard line where it's fair caught there by number 5. That's C.J. Jacobson. And that's where Rocky Mountain will take over deep in their own territory for their first possession here with 9:52 left in the opening quarter of play.
Check that. I think that was Troy Wilkie. Jacobson, the big 6'5" tight end with off. I think Mountain View heard what I said. I mean, they're committed to stopping the run. They're bringing everybody in the box. And they're leaving man coverage on the outside. That little handoff up the middle. They're fully committed. About 7-8 men in the box right there.
And you have to be. The Rocky Mountain running game has been strong these first couple games, and they're deep in the backfield as well. So dual receivers on each side. Sweeney in shotgun. Sends a man in motion to his left, drops back. He's looking deep. Has a man, has a step, and just overthrows his intended receiver. That was number 80, Jaron Ikabe.
Ikabe, good speed, not the biggest guy in the world, but good speed on that. He was being chased down by Kai Ackley, the defender for Mountain View. But the thing that I like about it, the thing you can take away from that, if you're Rocky Mountain, you say, all right, we know what they're doing with this. They're gonna rush the line of scrimmage. They're gonna play there. But then deep balls, there was no safety over the top.
Yeah. And he had a step. He just was overthrown by about 3 feet. Here's the punt. It's a short little screamer fielded at the 46-yard line. Still on his feet, but going backwards for the Mavericks was number 21, Makai Patwell. He's eventually brought down at it's about the 35-yard line of Rocky Mountain. So great field position here for Mountain View to start their second possession.
Yeah, you got to be pleased with that. I mean, you quote-unquote flipped the field, but not only did you flip the field, I mean, you gained a bunch of yards, too. Off a fantastic punt, you play solid defense, you stuff them, and then you get a kind of a softer punt, decent return, and then here you go. You're in business. You're rolling dice now at the 35-yard line.
Wall back out to conduct this drive. It'll be Justin McGee again. If you just joined us, McGee forced into play as Flatten went out with an injury on that first possession.
And we're seeing a different look from the Mountain View team.
The handoff to McGee, looking right up the middle, breaks through the first tackle, gets to the linebacking core and gets triple teamed and dropped.
But a great push by the Mountain View offensive line. That's that zone read. That's zone run where you hand it off and everybody just blocks down. Everybody blocks up and down, and the running back stays right behind me. He did a good job of not running too hard up their backs, but great push because they do have two tight ends with their hands in the ground right now. A little bit different look for Mountain View.
Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5 now for the Mavericks. Hand off again to McGee. This time he's looking left side, has some room to run, nearly breaks through the linebackers. But it's stopped, but not until he picks up 7 yards, and that's going to be a Mountain View first down.
Ty Page wrapped him up, the linebacker from Rocky, as he was coming through that left side, wrapped him up, drug him down. But great, hey, you'll take this all day if you're Mountain View, punch 5-6 yards at a time.
Absolutely. Another handoff to McGee. This time, the D line of Rocky Mountain was waiting for him.
Yeah, that was
a short gain, if any.
Yeah, that was a gang tackle. And it looks like they slanted the defensive line right into that. They'd had success with the same run, kind of that zone blocking scheme, and so Rocky responded by putting more men into the box and kind of shooting those gaps.
He actually lost a yard on the play, so 2nd and 11 now. Single receivers high and low for the Mavericks. Wall in shotgun. Gets the snap, a little goofy snap there, but across the middle and wide open downfield. That's complete to number 80. That's Cass Nelson there. The big receiver gets it 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Wall threads the needle. He had a big window, but he threads it right in that seam route down the seam on the left side.
So 1st and goal for the Mavericks. Hand off to McGee. McGee looking. I think he's going to get stopped just short of the goal line.
Yeah, letting the big boys do the work up there. Now both of these teams have fantastic trenches. We'll call them trenches. Both offensive and defensive lines. Big kids. able to move some people off the ball, but a good stuff by Rocky. And if you're Mountain View, you've got to be thrilled. You're moving the ball, you're scoring. There's only 5:58 left in the first quarter, and you're moving the ball.
No huddle back to McGee this time. He's going to be stopped short again, picked up a half yard. He is about 2 steps away from the end zone, but couldn't find it. So it'll be 3rd and goal now for the Mavericks.
He got hit up top. He put his head down to try and get in the end zone, and he got popped so hard he kind of helicoptered right in the middle of right in the hole, left him short. That ball never crossed the line.
So no huddle offense here for Wall. McGee to his right. 3rd and goal here. And it's going to be a timeout on the field. Mountain View didn't like the setup that they were getting there, and they're going to spend a timeout here with 5:21 left in the first quarter of play. Our army of Idaho sports action photographers are covering games all over the state. We've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu. Well, we talked about it on the last possession by Rocky Mountain, the keys to their offense if they were going to be victorious tonight. What about Mountain View side of the ball?
Yeah, and I'd say the opposite to that. I'd say they have to be able to connect. I mean, I'm being proved wrong on this second drive, but I do think they're going to have to eventually be able to throw the ball downfield. And with that Rocky pass rush, it's all about giving him some time to be able to scan the field. Last week versus Meridian, Mountain View started finding some success later on towards the end of the game, and it was all due to the passing game. So if they can really establish themselves, and they're doing the right thing, you got to establish the run because then you make them commit, and then you start picking apart the defense afterwards. But I do think it's going to be the passing game.
After that timeout, Dawson Wall leads his troops back out. McGee to his left. It's 3rd and about 2 feet. Wall in shotgun, hands it to McGee. McGee up the middle, looking and scoring. Touchdown, Mountain View.
Right up the gut. Wall turned to his left and handed it off, and he just went right up there. It wasn't fancy or anything, but the big boys blowing some guys off the ball, creating some space, and he just fell into the end zone.
So, and all that was set up by the short punt and the good return off Rocky's first possession that put the ball 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line for Mountain View, and then Dawson Wall led his offense down the field to do the rest. Here's the PAT. The snap is low. Kick is up. And the kick is good.
No, you don't have to. You don't panic if you're Rocky. You're the #1 team in the state for a reason. You come out and you play your game and you do your thing. And to be quite honest with you, a little fluky, right? Bad punt. Wasn't able. They got a couple new running back came in. You probably haven't scouted him. Does things a little bit different. He's actually backup quarterback, so he knows the game. So if you're Rocky, don't hit the panic button. You say, oh, let's go back to the, no drawing board here, but let's stay our game. Let's stay the course. Let's do our thing.
Team that's averaging just under 30 points a ball game is not going to panic with 5:18 left in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I think more than anything, you say, okay, what have we seen? They've shown us a bunch of stuff now. They've lined up in various formations. They brought tight ends in. They put 2 tight ends with their hands in the ground. They've done some various things. Have we seen it all? Maybe we have, maybe we haven't, but we've got to be ready for it.
Martin Cunnington on to kick off. Deep to return, number 2, Art Williams, and number 6, Troy Wilkie. There's the setup. And the kick. It's going to go near side and deep. And that's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So Rocky Mountain's second offensive possession will start at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, Tegan Sweeney coming out with his team. And he's going to have to start doing some things. And, he got one chance to throw the ball. He threw it a little deep. It was a pretty ball. Turned the ball over. But it was just long. And so at this point, you come out and say, hey, guys, breathe deep. We got this. We have potentially 3 college offensive linemen out here. Let's play some balls, put our heads down, and move it.
So here comes Sweeney. He's got Brecken Albert alongside him in the backfield. As they readjust the ball location, they put it on the near hash. So Sweeney in shotgun. Twin receivers high, single receiver down low. Sweeney puts a man in motion. It's going to be trip receivers high. Sweeney looking to his right. Unloads deep. That's into coverage, and that's going to be swatted away. Great defensive play intended down there for number 5, Jacobson.
Yeah, and Kyle Ackley is going to it looks like he's going to be defending the big tight end / huge receiver on the outside for Rocky Mountain. And it looked like Tegan Sweeney said, hey, I know you win jump balls. I know you're a big guy. I'm just going to throw it up there because he didn't throw it anywhere but to Jacobson, and Ackley had great coverage on him.
Yeah, was just able to stick with it and knock it out and force a 2nd and 10. So Sweeney again with Albert to his left. Same setup as last time, twin receivers high, 1 receiver low. This time it's going to be a handoff to Albert. He's got some room up the middle. Gets it up to the 25-yard line to pick up a 5 on the play.
Yeah, pick up a 5, but I'd say more than that. I'd say, hey, we moved the ball. We got some yards. Yeah, you can breathe deep a little bit and know that you can move that. But, you know, they hadn't had any positive yardage up until that play.
Brings up a 3rd and 5 here. 4:45 left in the first quarter of play. Again, twin receivers high, twin receivers low. It's going to be man coverage all the way around. Albert in motion to the top of the screen. Sweeney drops back, has his man. That's number 80. That's Jaron Akibi, excuse me.
Yeah, and Akibi did a great job because he ran underneath. The inside receiver ran a post flag route, and he ran out and he cleared out the defensive back, made Akibi's defender come over the top of him, and it left a ton of space. Tegan Sweeney, made the right read and threw it at a wide open receiver.
Pick up a 15, 1st and 10 for Rocky Mountain. Their first down of the ball game. Comes with 4 minutes left in the opening quarter of play. Sweeney drops back again. He's going deep again, has a receiver down there, and just leads him out of bounds. That was intended for number 16, Carson Adams.
And Tegan Sweeney right now is reading the right side of the field. He's reading 1-2 reads on that side, and he's letting the ball go. We'll see if he eventually starts reading the whole field, because on the close side, the near side to us, he had a couple receivers run wide open because the safeties bailed and they went deep on the far side of the field.
See if he makes the adjustment here as he's joined in the backfield by number 26, Jeff Thompson. So 2nd and 10 now for the Grizzlies. Sweeney takes a look at the defense, hands the ball off, right up the gut. And a pickup maybe of 2 yards there by Thompson. Bring up a 3rd and long for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, 3rd and long, but more importantly, you still haven't been able to establish the run game consistently, and that's going to be tough if you're going to be relying on a quarterback all game to hit those throws. Rocky, moving the ball right to left as we're speaking here, is kind of has their back to the sun. And so the receivers are looking back, and if you're throwing to that right side, they're looking right into the sun every single time.
Twin receivers down low. Now a whole bunch of people in motion. Reestablishing the strong side to the near side. Sweeney with Albert behind him. Fake the handoff, goes right across the middle, has the receiver open. That's number 11, Luke Lucchini, and he is going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Rocky Mountain. That's a 57-yard pitch and catch.
Yeah, great play on that. They just cleared it out. It was man-to-man coverage. He came underneath, and Tegan Sweeney hit his man. He put it where only Lucchini could get the ball as he was heading away from us. He started reading the field. He read the left side of the field. He didn't throw into the sun. He made it all happen. Now, Lucchini, he's a good athlete. He's also somewhat of a recruit going on. He's getting some schools looking at him. But good speed, broke a tackle. And when you're in man-to-man coverage with no deep safety help, if you don't make that tackle, it could be lights out.
Rocky lining up to go for 2 here with Sweeney under center. Man in motion to the near side. Fake the handoff, goes right across the middle and overthrows his intended receiver, Luke Henchette, and overthrew him by a country mile.
Yeah, that one he didn't even. He had one. He was going one place and one place only, and handed to Mountain View. They stood in there, played pure defense. They played straight up defense and watched him as he went back and stuck with everybody as they released. There was just a lot of traffic in there going right over the middle.
So with 2:59 left in the opening quarter of play, Mountain View Mavericks 7, Rocky Mountain Grizzlies 6 here on IdahoSports.com.
Yeah, and I think that Rocky Mountain, they're confident they're going to be able to score points. So you know what? Hey, we go for 2. We either run up and we get up on them or we don't. But we know we're going to come back and score points. And if you're Mountain View, you say, okay, hey, we gave up 1. We're able to stuff it. We're still up. I mean, that's a moral victory. You got to hang on to that a little bit. And now you come back and you say, what's next? What do we do next? You know, we got to punch them in the mouth now. We've got to respond.
It'll be Dawson Anderson on to kick for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies in their black and whites here, black pants, white jerseys, black helmets. Mountain View Mavericks in their gray and green. It's Perkins and McGee deep to return for the Mavericks, and it'll be McGee from the 2-yard line. McGee to the 15, to the 20, and that's where he'll be stopped.
Great special teams tackle by Preston Craig. He's a senior defensive back, but he came in, got low, wrapped him up, and didn't let him go anywhere.
That wasn't McGee. That was actually Colin Rogers there on the return. Number 10, 5'11", senior wide receiver. Playing some special teams there.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see this time how this is a chess game. You can tell these are 2 really well-coached football teams. And so now they start moving the chess pieces, and they say, hey, we brought a couple tight ends out. Last time we were able to move the ball. So now all of a sudden Rocky says, who do we bring in? How do we combat that, and what do we call to make a difference against the run game this time around? Sticking with that 3-man defensive line, yep.
Trip receivers down low for the Mavericks. There's the handoff to McGee. McGee gets through that defensive line into the linebackers and picks up about 7 yards on the rush.
Man, I'm going to hand it to Mountain View. They're doing the right thing. So Rocky Mountain blitzed a man on the outside, the far side, away from us towards the Rocky sideline. And on that zone run, he just stepped away from that and ran on the inside, right to the middle of it, ran away from that extra man coming up the field.
So it'll be 2nd and 3 now for the Mavericks. Single receiver up top, 2 receivers low. Wall again hands it off to McGee, and McGee looking for room to run. He's going to be just short of the line of gain. Picked up 2 yards, needed 3 there.
Ty Page came in, and you saw him. He was playing close to the line of scrimmage, but he knows that it's going to be a run. I mean, they've been handing the ball off left and right. He shot a gap right to where the running back was going, wrapped him up, and pushed him back.
So no huddle offense here for Mountain View as Walls quickly into the shotgun. Same formation as last play, dual receivers high, dual receivers low, 1 receiver high. Couldn't get anybody to jump on the snap, so looking to the sideline, calling the audible is Wall. There's the snap, fake the handoff to McGee across the middle, nearly picked off, but caught right there, tight window. And that's the tight end, Kyle Cook, making the reception, picking up 8 yards and the first down for the Mountain View Mavericks.
Ty Page, once again, jumped that play. He knew it was coming. He had his hand in there. You see him smacking the ground as he came across. Either he was going to make the play or he was going to pick up a big yardage.
Single receivers high and low for Mountain View.
And look at Rocky crowd the line of scrimmage.
And it pays off big time right there as McGee goes backwards. He's going to lose a yard on that play.
Yeah, they had 6 guys right at the line of scrimmage standing in the gaps on the ends. They were run blitzing that one for sure. Defensive coordinator, you call it a run blitz, but you know the guys are going to run. I mean, they had success, so first down, you got to stop that run, put them at 2nd and long.
Now, at what point do you start to try to open up the passing game here if you're Mountain View?
Well,
you got 50 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, well, right now.
Looking downfield, has a man, but good coverage there and let him out of bounds. Did Wall. That was intended for number 10. Rogers had no shot at catching that.
Preston Craig, the same guy, the same Preston Craig that made the tackle on special teams is your free safety there. And he rotated over and got there pretty quick. Wall had to throw the ball deep and away from everybody, and he just threw it too far into the sideline because he did have that safety help coming over the top, couldn't put it on the inside.
So 3rd and 11 now. Trip receivers down low, a single receiver up top. Wall with McGee to his left. Fake the handoff, drops back, 2-step drop, quick hit, and underthrew his intended receiver. That was number 84, Deontay Cobb. And Cobb really had no shot. That was about 5 yards short of him.
So I was going to give a lot of credit to the Rocky defense, and as well we should on that side of the field. The near side where we were, I thought they were trying to disguise some coverages and were jumping around at the end, but their two defenders were talking to each other saying, hey, wait, didn't you have here? Or what were we doing on that one? So luckily they read the other side of the field, and the defender made a great play.
So Mountain View forced to punt here. Deep to return for Rocky Mountain is going to be number 6, Troy Wilkie. So the punt will take place from the 25-yard line of Mountain View. Wilkie standing at his own 12. There's the kick. It's high and short. And it's going to fall down and drop dead about the 31-yard line. So not bad field position here for Rocky Mountain on their 3rd possession with 29 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play.
Yeah, it's a great place to start and some good momentum. Now you had to stop. You broke serve. You scored a touchdown. You stopped them. And now you come out and you say, hey, we're the number 1 team in the state. Mountain View, if they have anything to do with it, they'll turn around and make a stop if they have something to say about it. Now, I will say this on that punt. Generally speaking, if you know the ball is going to hit, you get as far away as you can. And there were a couple Rocky guys in the vicinity. If I'm a coach, I'm saying don't ever do that again. You get as far away as you can.
They ignored the poison call there.
I won't tell you what we called it when I played.
I've only heard poison, and Peter.
Well, it's the latter. Do you know why they call it Peter?
Well, you'll have to tell me off air.
Yes.
Hand off to number 21, Tayshawn Reese. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on the play. Out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Mountain View up front, I give them a pass. They are withstanding the push. They're doing a good job. Now, Mountain View also pretty athletic across that front line. They're not those big road grader defensive linemen. They tend to be athletic. They'll jump in gaps and make good pursuit plays.
And that is the end of the first quarter of play. Your score, the Mountain View Mavericks 7, the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies 6. We'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to Mountain View High School, the Battle of the Mountains here. Rocky Mountain and Mountain View right now, the edge, however slim it is, goes to Mountain View 7-6 as we start the second quarter of play.
Yeah, I'll call this big-time high school football in Idaho, but let me just tell you, Mountain View High School does a fantastic job of bringing an electric environment here.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is great. It doesn't get better than this for high school football in the state of Idaho.
And Rocky Mountain looking for a little revenge. This was their only loss in the regular season last year, was this game right here at Mountain View. Here's the first down. Here's the handoff to number 26, Jeff Thompson. On second down, picks up about 7 yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd and a yard and a half to go.
Yeah, and that play, they had Mountain View guessing. Mountain View dropped in defense, dropped in coverage, and the offensive line was able to move some of those defensive defenders up front.
Hurry up offense here. Twin receivers high and low. Sweeney and shotgun. And Mountain View didn't like what they saw defensively. There was something there that just got them a little nervous, so they're going to be forced to call their second timeout of the half.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. I mean, they're lining up to play pass coverage, and Rocky's shown them a couple different looks so far. Well, they're running the spread, but they've been able to run the ball successfully. But if the reason you call a timeout here is to get on the same page, you need to make a stop. You have actually, Rocky's going to take 2 downs if they're not getting the first down on this one. So how do you prepare yourself for that?
Absolutely, 2-down territory here, 3rd and a yard to go.
Yeah, and Rocky, again, moving left to right as we're seeing it at this point. This is a battle of heavyweights, and they're very well coached, and you can see that. And one of the ways I tell that is how much motion do they do, and then do they line up properly after they move men all over the field. And you can see it. These guys are flipping tight ends and receivers from both sides, moving back and forth, sending backs in motion, and they're lining up, and there has not been an illegal procedure, illegal formation, or anything at this point.
There hasn't been any flags.
Yeah, it's been a clean game. That or the refs aren't calling anything, letting them play.
So 3rd and short now for Rocky. Twin receivers high, twin receivers low. Lone man in the backfield behind Sweeney. Sweeney looks to the sideline. No change in the play. Gets the snap. Fakes the handoff, but that was read perfectly. They're trying to set up a wide receiver screen. And Mountain View was ready for it. Sweeney tucks and rolls, and he's going to be, I think, just short of the sticks. So it's going to be 4th and very short, but nice job there by the Mountain View defense.
Yeah, Maximus Miley jumped in the middle of that, had his hand in there, kind of disrupted the whole flow, but that is film. That handed to the Mountain View coaches, that is watching a ton of film and saying, hey, we're going to stop them on that. I'm actually a little shocked they're sending out the punt team.
Fake here?
You're Rocky. I wouldn't. I know consistently I can score points. There's no reason for that, but I also know that I have a huge offensive line, so I'd probably line up under center and just run a quarterback sneak.
Mountain View's going to send back number 4. That's going to be Owen McBride. And punt is a good one. Lands at the 20 and takes a big rocky bounce. Is still rolling. That thing's going to die about the 10-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Mountain View deep in their own territory. Good job there by the Rocky special teams to flip the field.
Yeah, fantastic job. And not only that, they busted out the old rugby punt, which you don't see very often at the high school level, but he did a good job of angling it away from the return man so he didn't have a chance to advance the ball. And not only that, he kicked it flat so was able to roll downfield.
So 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line for the Mavericks. 10.5 left in the half. Still 7-6. Mountain View over Rocky. Mountain View offense taking a long time to get out to the field.
The one thing we don't have in Idaho, well, there are a lot of things we don't have, but one specific thing we don't have is the play clock, which would be ideal for quarterbacks and teams to see, but you got to go off of what the referees are saying.
So a lone receiver to the top of the screen. One spread way down on the near side. Looking across, has the receiver open and busting into some space. Great job there on the pitch and catch. That's number 10, Colin Rogers. Great yards after catch there all the way out to the 44-yard line. A pickup of 34 yards on the play and a 1st down for Mountain View.
Ran a little post curl and kind of settled in the zone underneath everybody, wide open, easy pitch.
And there's our first flag. It's going to be a false start. Looked like the center and the quarterback weren't on the same snap count.
Yeah, right side of the line took off, and the ball had not been snapped yet.
And Dawson Wall letting his center know that he is not pleased with that particular action right there.
Yeah, and Wall's had the center quarterback exchange has been a little slow at times. He's lobbed it in there, so looks like something they're going to have to fix moving forward.
So it'll be Wall in the backfield with McGee. As they shuffle the receivers around. Tight end comes to the near side. Single receivers high and low. 1st and 15 now for Mountain View. Quick hit on the near side. Has his man open. That's number 21, Makai Patwell. Patwell picks up the 5 yards that they lost, so now it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a good route because you had man coverage all along, and they put everybody up in the box. I mean, they had one safety, and everybody was running man, and everybody's creeping up against the line. Rocky really respecting the run game of Mountain View right now.
So 2nd and 10, same formation as the last play. Wall gets the snap, this time hands it off to McGee. McGee looks right and has some room, picks up about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 6.
And when you think that they may throw the ball or they have a long, then you drop your men and then they run you and they bust you up there for about 4 yards. Great play calling. Good play calling on Mountain View's side. Keep them on their heels.
Wall gets the call from the sideline. Calls the audible. And is this going to be the third timeout called by? Nope, first timeout called by Rocky. Defense wasn't quite ready. Didn't like what they saw, so Coach Gulick called a timeout. Rocky's first comes with 9:19 left in the half.
And use them. That's why you have them.
Yeah.
People don't use them enough in the first half. But if you can spare yourself some points, if you can spare yourself some big plays, I say use them, utilize that, see what the offense is doing and some of those options. Not only that, it gives the coaches a chance to maybe dig in a little bit from their film watching or for whatever they're doing, from whatever they do to prepare for the game, and maybe pull something out right now based on a look that they saw.
Well, always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the IdahoSports.com Prepcasts cover every inch of Idaho. Hosted by Brandon Bainey, each Prepcast features one of our in-house experts talking about what's going on in your part of the state. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. And again, action going around all over the state tonight. Some early games have already wrapped up. We'll get some scores for you at halftime. But right now, this game's 7-6, Mountain View over Rocky Mountain, 9:19 left in the half. And looking up at the board, Owyhee leading Boise 14-7, and Eagle up on Cuna 7-0. So handy to have that scoreboard over here at Mountain View High School.
Yeah, ICCU scoreboard's fantastic. West Ada's getting them all over.
Wall tried to get the defense to jump. They weren't having any of it, so he looks to the sideline to get the audible. Makes the adjustment at the line. Fakes the handoff to McGee. Under pressure. Has to scramble, looking for room to run. Lowers his shoulder. He's going to be right at the sticks. And they're going to give him a first down. Late flag comes in.
A little extracurricular. It looks like it was a hit afterwards. The problem was it was a man pursuing him, and I'm not sure if it was intentional or not.
So there were a couple fingers pointing at Mountain View.
Yeah, and what I think happened was, and we don't have instant replay here, but what I think happened was the offensive lineman didn't take too kindly to the fact that his quarterback got hit maybe after he was down. Came back with a little bit of retaliation. And, hey, you got to love that if you're quarterback. Your offensive lineman sticking up for you.
Yep, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, you saw his teammates grab him and say, hey, simmer down. We got this.
So the good news is it's 1st and 10 because it happened after the play. The bad news is you're deeper than when you started that drive. So the ball's going to be placed all the way back at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for Mountain View.
Yeah, I've always found that bizarre. Okay, so you just move the ball back, but we get a start fresh? All right, we'll take it.
Perfect. Well, not perfect. You've lost 15 yards on the play. Just the second flag of the ball game. And there's a timeout on the field. It's going to be an official timeout. Not sure what they're chatting about, but they're talking about something.
Yeah, they're chatting about if it needs to be a 1st and 25 versus a 1st and 10 right now. Yeah, that's what it looks like, because if you do get a dead ball after the way, but so now, okay, looks like they're going to keep it the 1st and 10.
Maybe. They're still huddled up around the ball. Now they're going to back it up to 15.
Well, it looks like they didn't spot it properly.
Yeah,
okay,
they were off by 5 yards there.
Yeah, that's what I thought when they were walking. I'm like, 10-yard penalty. Looks like they change the rules week to week.
But nice catch there by the officiating crew. Good communication by the boys in stripes. So it'll be first. Well, they still have it 1st and 10. As the handoff goes to McGee, and McGee goes nowhere. Barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage before he's dropped.
Trevor Beck stood up in there, and he has come on. He's subbed in because the heat factor here is just draining some of these kids, so they're getting a lot of rotation defensively at the beginning with some of their defensive linemen. But he's a big kid, this Trevor Beck. He's 6'5", 245. He made a good stop in the backfield.
2nd and 10. Wall and shotgun, gets the snap, looks near side, has his receiver, throws it low, and that could be targeting right there.
Yeah, and it will be. But the problem is that's such a tough call because he couldn't have done anything different. There's not much you can do at that point.
Yeah, the receiver was going down low, and the defender was trying to hit him low, but just happened to hit the receiver as he was low.
Yeah, and his face was up. He hit him with his face mask, didn't hit him with the crown. He just still hit him.
So we'll see if it's targeting or just a defenseless receiver.
Yeah, it kind of took a toll, though. The defensive back, that was Micah Clyde.
That's going to be targeting. The one thing targeting doesn't carry here in the high school game is an automatic ejection, which is lucky for the defender because he could be watching the rest of the game from the sideline.
Yeah, I watched or listened to a podcast one time, and they were talking to some refs, and they're saying, well, hey, in that type of situation when there's nothing you can do, what do? You know what the ref's response was? Just let him catch the ball.
Yeah. Make the tackle after. Yeah, that's a tough play there. And they got Rocky defensive line to jump there. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty and make it 1st and 5. So big back-to-back penalties here against Rocky Mountain, helping this Mountain View drive stay alive and advance.
Yeah, 1st and 5, though. Now you can run all kinds of stuff. Open up the playbook, take a shot, do what you have to do. Here's the crazy thing, Clay. I'm looking almost down this line. He jumped, but he didn't cross.
Yeah, that was close.
He jumped, but he didn't cross, and you could see the referee because he's standing on the near sideline.
Hand off to McGee. McGee gets eaten alive in the backfield.
Gage Tanner, the big linebacker with the club on his left hand, steps up, and they're really respecting that run, meaning they're sending people in the box. Gage, a senior, 6'1", 210, getting looked at by a couple of schools to play at the next level.
Loss of 2 on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and a long 6, short 7, depending on how you want to look at your glass, half full, half empty. McGee in the backfield with Wall. Looking to the sideline for the audible. Slow coming is that audible call. Wall makes the adjustment at the line. Single receivers high and low. Hand off to McGee. McGee getting behind his lineman there. And a nice run there by McGee, just being patient and picking up 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, Gage Tanner, the same linebacker that we just lauded, he went upfield really hard, and he over-pursued it. He didn't stay, he didn't fill that hole. He just went in hard to the defender. And McKee took a cut. He just cut left back against the grain and shot it right up the hole for a nice gain.
So it brings up 3rd and short here. So again, just single receivers high and low for Mountain View on 3rd and 1. Dropping back is Wall, looking deep, has a man, and is going to lead him out of bounds. Just led him a little bit too far. The receiver, that was number 84, Deontay Cobb. Even if he'd caught that, wouldn't have been able to stay in bounds.
Yeah, and Parker Simonson on that one had good coverage, and he didn't give him anywhere to throw. But I'm kind of impressed at this point. They're lining up in that 21 package, the 21 formation, meaning 2 tight ends, 1 back. And then they're only running 2 guys in the route, leaving the other 2 in. So he has one of 2 options. Which way does the safety go? Throw it to the other guy.
Did it right there, but just led him too far. And looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field. Who's calling this one?
That's Rocky.
Rocky again. So both teams now down to their final timeouts with 6:48 to go in the first half. 7-6 Mountain View still leading Rocky. Only difference is that 2-point conversion that Rocky wasn't able to convert after the 57-yard pass from Sweeney to Lucchini.
And a slugfest. I mean, so far it's been a slugfest. We've had a couple of big plays. I mean, the big play from Rocky with Lucchini, that 57-yard touchdown. But outside of that, it's been dink and dunk and nothing big. It's been a slugfest. And credit that. Again, good coaching. Big players up front moving and battling up inside.
We've seen in the second quarter the penalties start to pile up a little bit, which has kept a drive alive for each team. Right now, it's really helped Mountain View on this drive as they picked up 20 yards on penalties on back-to-back plays.
Yeah, and a lot of this, too, is emotion because these kids know each other. I mean, some of these kids, if you look at the boundaries, some of their boundaries kind of line up against each other, more so, say, with Meridian High School. But I'm sure some of them probably played Pee Wee football together, maybe the same leagues.
So Wall and shotgun tried to get the defense to jump. Wasn't having any part of it there were the Grizzlies. There's the snap. Option. It's going to go to McGee. McGee has some room to run. Is he going to pick it up? He is, but there's a flag there. That might be a holding on that receiver out there against Mountain View.
Yeah, boy, great play call, though. I mean, and the thing that I liked about it, too, was Wall came up, took a step in, and that made the defender commit, pitched it outside. I really would have liked to see McKee cut that up a little quicker. All he needed was a yard.
But it looks like it's not going to make a difference because I believe I saw the call for holding. Here's the official call.
That's on number 5, the big tight end. It's Kyle Cook.
No, it should only be third down, shouldn't it?
No, that was fourth down.
Was it fourth?
Yeah,
okay.
That was fourth. They were going for a fourth down, yeah.
So it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. The foul took place on the right side of the line to gain. That's going to back him up 10 yards from that spot. Make it 4th and 8 here. Should be about 4th and 8.
Yeah, and you're in no man's land. You punt the ball. And plus your defense has been playing really well. With the exception of one big play, your defense has been playing pretty well. But if it's me, I want to pin my team knowing that my defense does play really well. Pin the opponent back.
And it's going to be Wall, who's lined up right now at quarterback, but we've seen him on an earlier play drop back into punt position, and there he does it again. So Rocky has to send a return man quickly deep. High but short. Is he going to get a Mountain View bounce? Nope. Going to hit at the 13 and kind of die right there.
Yeah, but what a great punt, though. I mean, think about it. He put it inside the 20-yard line. Look, Wall's your quarterback, and he may be an all-state punter.
At this point tonight, he's really flipped the field 2 or 3 times for his team. So he's done a great job there. So he's earning his stripes tonight.
Yeah, and Mountain View with the 1-point lead here. I mean, hey, you're hanging on. You're playing good defense. Rocky is yet to show they can consistently move the ball. They had the big play, but they haven't been able to move the ball consistently. As they're going left to right here, we have 6 minutes and 22 seconds left, and they have it's on the 14-yard line. You have an 86-yard field ahead of you. What do you have? What do you play? What's your play call? Well, you got to stick to your game plan. Just go with it. Just go what you do.
And I'm not sure if somebody called a timeout on the field or not, but neither team has taken to the field.
Media timeout. For us.
For us? Well, let's get it in. We'd like to thank our power boosters tonight: Evade Pest Management, Meridian Plumbing, College of Western Idaho, Big Judd's Meridian, Metro Appraisals, and Pacific Residential Mortgage, all supporting this broadcast here on IdahoSports.com. If you'd like to get your business listed as a power booster or as a weekly ad read, send an email to sales@IdahoSports.com, and we'll get you set up.
Yeah, can I just stress how important it is? A lot of these businesses, these are local businesses that care about the community. They're putting money into this. They want to be part of this community, so absolutely support them as best you can.
They appreciate it. We appreciate it. Everybody win-win in that situation. So man in motion out of the backfield was Tayshawn Reese. Sweeney under pressure somehow gets away from it, steps up, and he's scrambling for his life. He's going to make it up to the 16-yard line. So a pickup of 2 on what really should have been a loss of 5 on the play.
Holy cow, Tegan Sweeney. How do you do? But good defensive coverage, good coverage in the backfield. He had all day. They only rushed those 4 defensive linemen in that big offensive line from Rocky Mountain, gave him all kinds of time, but the defensive backfield did really well. They bracketed the receivers, C.J. Jacobson over the top, and there was nowhere to go with the ball.
So it'll be 2nd and 8 now for Rocky Mountain as Breckton Albert comes in to Sweeney's right. Sweeney drops back to pass. Screen pass set up and knocked down out of the air. Great defensive play there by Mountain View.
hand it to him. I mean, that's really well played. The defensive line didn't rush upfield. I mean, he probably should have just thrown it in the ground. That could have been a pick. Yeah. But that's really good scouting on the Mountain View side. And the screen passes for both teams have not worked very well. That's a sign of a very intelligent defensive line. And on top of that, that's really good coaching on their both sides.
And that was Caleb Perrin there getting his big mid up to knock that out of the air. So it's going to be 3rd and 8 here for Rocky. Again, moving left to right. With 5.5 left to go in the half. Reese steps up to the left of Sweeney. Sweeney drops back, looks near side, has a receiver open. Great catch. That's number 80. That's Jaron Akibi. Akibi out to the races inside the 20, but a flag comes down all the way back at the 47-yard line. That could negate a big play there by Akibi.
Yeah,
who was well covered. Just a great catch and run.
Yeah, and Kibi's quick. I mean,
he's not big, but he's got speed.
Yeah, and he shifted a couple of times. It was incredible what he did. He slowed it down, and the defender slowed, and he sped it back up, and he went back and forth. This flag happens to be at the 47-yard line, and for what? I think it's a sideline infraction on Mountain View.
Yep, nice call. So that's going to be half the distance from the end of the run. It's going to take it from the 22 to the 11 and make it 1st and goal now for the Grizzlies.
And this is a game so far for Rocky that you got to say, well, hey, I mean, we get big plays when we score. We get the plays in chunks, but we haven't consistently been able to move the ball. And if you're Mountain View, you say, how do we stop big plays? I mean, it's easy math on that side, but you don't give away those cheap ones. I mean,
no.
you got to do something about that. That needs to be addressed, and this is a good, well-coached team.
There's no reason for a sideline contact on that. Takes you back to Woody Hayes' days at OSU.
Look at you digging deep.
Going way back in the time machine. So 1st and 10, Albert to Sweeney's left. They bring the muscle to the left side, does Rocky. And that's where Albert's going. Albert tripped up after a short gain, picks up maybe 3 yards on the play inside the 10.
Yeah, Mason Childs made a great play. He stayed at home, and all he did is stepped up, and he made a tackle. I mean, it was a gain of 3.5, we'll call it. But he did a good job. It could have been a bunch more. If he hadn't made that play, there was nobody behind him.
Albert would have walked that in.
And again, Rocky now is kind of running that same zone read run where you just hand the ball off and everybody blocks up. And if there's somebody out there, you got to depend on your man to make a cut, your running back to make a cut and go upfield.
Art Williams checks into the game. There's a name we haven't called tonight. Man in motion to the top of the screen, handoff to Williams. Williams looks middle, cuts to the top of the screen, gets it down to about the 4-yard line, it looks like.
So the interior of that play looked identical. Art Williams took the handoff, went up to the left side, kind of headed upfield, cut right. But the same thing happened with the defender when he came up and made a tackle. But one for him, that's a touchdown.
So Williams stays in to Sweeney's left. Lone receiver, twin receivers to the bottom of the screen. Now they shift the muscle right. So an overload on the right side. Here's the handoff to Williams. Williams heading that way, but gets tackled by the ankle. Great defensive play there. No gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Yeah, and if that was Mason Childs, the guy just made 3 straight tackles in a row, touchdown-saving tackles, and he did it all from his linebacker position. And I can't tell if that's a number 6. Sometimes these numbers are tough to read when you have the gray and then you have the green lettering on it. It makes it a little bit difficult to kind of discern what that number is, and plus they bunch up around their chest because, when I played with leather helmets, apparently, the uniforms were a lot looser. Nowadays, you have to put some grease on you to get it in the pads.
Here comes Anderson on for the 23-yard field goal try, and there's a flinch right there. Are they going to get the flag? 88 flinched, but no flag on the call, and the 23-yard kick is up and good by Anderson.
Yeah, it was an awkward chain of events. There was the defender kind of feigned at him. I'm not sure if he was jumping or trying to get him going. And the end man, which was the tight end, flared his arm out, and everybody's looking for flags all the way around. But it's a moot point. Field goal is good, and just like that, Rocky goes up by 2. in this barn burner.
Yeah. 7-9. Well, let's go 9-7 here. I'm reading it off the scoreboard. 9-7. Rocky now leads over Mountain View with 3:08 left to go in this first half.
You know, if we're looking at this, kind of the MO for Mountain View is, hey, we play great defense. We really do. We just got to figure out a way to score more points. I mean, same thing happened with Meridian last week. They held them in check, 13 points, and that's a high-scoring offense. That Meridian team, in my opinion, is one of the dark horses to win the state championship because they have so much returning talent. But Meridian held them to Mountain View held them to 13 points. But right now, it's like, hey, what do we do to keep moving the ball? How do we not shoot ourselves in the foot? What do we do to be more consistent on offense? And they seem to be running the ball pretty well. But now, and I said the same thing, okay, so they got to move the ball. They got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
If that's my opinion, they've got to be able to move the ball downfield in chunks.
So Deontay Cobb and Colin Rogers deep to return the Anderson kick here. Anderson checks his lines. There's the hand signal, and there's the kick. Screaming line drive is going to be taken by number 10, Rogers. Rogers up the far sideline. It's going to be stopped, it looks like, about the 30-yard line. So decent field position here for Mountain View as they get ready to take over on offense with 3:01 left to go in the half.
And 3:01 with the way they've been running the ball is now they got to play some hurry-up offense at this point if they're going to move the ball to the length of the field. And that comes with them being able to step back and start picking these guys apart. Now, Mountain View's done a really good job. When Rocky drops into that zone, they run everything underneath that last, we'll call it the second level of the picket fence, and they've been sitting in the seam. So they've been able to pick up chunks of 10, 11 yards. But Rocky's really reticent to maybe give up that big, deep play, and so they're keeping a man deep all the time.
One other thing to keep in mind, Mountain View had to burn 2 timeouts early, so they're just down to the 1 timeout left.
That's what you coach with 1 timeout.
So single receiver high, single receiver low. Wall gets the audible, has McGee to his right. There's the handoff to McGee. McGee really nowhere to run there on first down. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, they stepped up really well on that. Again, that was Gage Tanner. He stuck his nose in there, so he moves upfield. If he's gonna either get you in the backfield, or maybe he'll run right by you. But he's made a couple really good stops in the backfield. He had a man on him too, push him in the backfield. Coming in from his middle linebacker position,
which was supposed to be, according to Chris Kulik, one of the weaker positions coming into this season.
I don't see it.
Yeah, it hasn't been tonight. Here's the pass complete in the near side to number 10, Colin Rogers. Across the 40 to the 42. That's going to be a first down for Mountain View.
Let me tell you, that was a heck of a throw. That was a clear across the field, and he put some zip on that. He threw that before his receiver turned on that out route. That's a college throw right there by Dawson Wall.
So a timeout now taken by Rocky. That is their 3rd and final timeout. You know what? Let's take a timeout with them here on IdahoSports.com. We'll be right back.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Well, welcome back, folks, to IdahoSports.com. 2 minutes left exactly here in the first half. Rocky Mountain leading 7-9 over Mountain View in the Battle of the Mountains.
Yeah, Clay, we talked at the break how this has been somewhat of a slugfest, and so the question is it great defense, or is just the offense not executing at this point? I think it might be a little bit,
I
bit
think
of
it's
both.
a little bit of both, yeah, absolutely.
I was expecting some more fireworks, especially from Rocky, having put up points, decent points on the last 2 teams, specifically Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah. Who's perennially a strong team coming out of the north. Here's the handoff to McGee, who went in motion into the backfield. He's going to pick up 4 yards on the play.
It's odd. They seem content just running the ball. Hey, we'll give him. And Rocky saying, cool, we'll give you.
Yeah, we'll give you 4 yards at a time
You
with
bet.
$1:45 left to go in the half.
Absolutely.
So twin receivers high and low. Wall alone in the backfield. Rocky making some defensive backfield adjustments here. Wall drops back, has a receiver open deep. That is caught. Touchdown! Mountain View number 84, Deontay Cobb.
And he beat the sophomore, Trey Jacobson, on that long ball. Jacobson was the safety, didn't rotate over in time. And I'll tell you what, there's some wheels on that kid. That kid knows how to run. And he got behind him, and he made him pay. Perfectly thrown ball. The ball turned over, hit him right in stride. He didn't even have to slow down for that. Hey, I was going to say prior to that, they were trying to confuse him a little bit with the defense. They dropped 3 safeties back. He had that deep third, and he just ran past the third deep safety.
And had 3 steps on his defender, and Wall just dropped a dime right in the pocket. Here's the PAT from Cunnington coming up. Kick is up. Kick is good. And just like that, Mountain View back on top, 14-9 with 1:25 left to go in the half.
Yeah, just really well played. And it seems like they kind of lulled them to sleep, but it was less the coaches and maybe the defenders who were kind of getting a cadence of, all right, we're going to step up and support the run, support the run, support the run. And right when you do that, Wall threw a dime, like you said, turned it over, perfectly thrown, right in stride. And there was nothing special about that route.
No.
Run fast and go deep, and I'm going to hit you.
Just a fly pattern.
So barn burner?
Well, maybe turning it up a little bit.
We'll see.
$1:25 left to go in the half. Rocky's going to get the ball, but no timeouts. They do get the ball to start the second half. So do you put too much pressure on scoring here with $1:25 left?
If you're Rocky, you do it. You have the players. If it's me, and I think they do, and I don't know on their timeout. I think I don't know if they have any timeouts left.
They have no timeouts left.
They have no timeouts. You get the ball. See what you can do. You take 2 shots. If you move the ball in chunks with the first 2 shots, you continue moving it. If you don't, you're happy. You're content to take a knee, walk into halftime, regroup, and say, hey, we get a score. We'll be all right.
There was some extracurricular activity after the PAT. Each team picking up a personal foul. They offset, so I guess no harm, no foul.
And we're starting to get some shade finally on the field for these players. Hopefully it drops about 83 degrees so they can actually survive out there.
It's still hot up here.
Yes. Yes, it is, my friend. You got a sheen on your forehead there, amigo.
Do I? I need the makeup girl to come in here and clean that up. So here's Cunnington with the kick. It's going to go deep into the end zone where it'll be dropped for a touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 Rocky at their own 20-yard line.
80 yards.
And 1:25 to do it in.
1:25 to do it again. Like any good football coach would say, you got to work the sidelines, and if you're Mountain View, you protect the sidelines. Yep. Give up anything in the middle, and you run kind of that shell defense where you run you protect the sidelines, and you put your men deep, and then you let one person run around in the middle.
And I think we'll get an idea on this first play here, whether Rocky's going to be content to run the clock out, or if they're going to try to put points on the board. Sweeney in shotgun. Albert behind him. Twin receivers high, just a single receiver down to the near side. The handoff to Albert. Albert goes left. Albert has room to run up to the 30-yard line. So a nice pickup there on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, but that was pretty indicative of what they really feel about this drive.
Yeah. But they're still in a hurry-up offense here. So Sweeney again to Albert. Albert trying to find some room to run. Does find some. Picks up 5 yards on the play. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, clock stops. Helmet came off. Kid's got to come off the field. There you go.
So now it's Art Williams in the backfield with Sweeney. Twin receivers low. Hand off to Williams. Williams gets stood up at the line, picks up maybe 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, 45 seconds left. You have to take a shot.
And if you're going to do it, you're going to do it here.
Yeah. Or it would have been done. Let's just put it that way.
This could very well be the last play of the half.
Yeah.
Albert with Sweeney. Just twin receivers down low. Tight end up top. And the handoff to Albert. And Albert picks up about 3 yards on the play. And that should do it here for the first half. Your score at halftime. The Mountain View Mavericks 14, the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies 9 here on IdahoSports.com. We're going to take a break, come back with our first half rundown. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
Welcome back to IdahoSports.com. This halftime scoring summary brought to you by Mountain West Bank and our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Well, it breaks down pretty simply. In the first quarter, 5:18 left in the first quarter, it was McGee with a 1-yard run to put Mountain View up 7-0. Rocky Mountain answered 3 minutes later, 2:59, with a 57-yard pass from Sweeney to Lucchini. The 2-point conversion failed. It was 7-6 at that point. Rocky Mountain brings us 14-9 here. Mountain View over Rocky as the Mountain View band gets ready for their performance. Well, what'd you think of that first half?
We saw a little bit of everything and a lot of nothing at the same time. There was a big slugfest for a lot of it, but the play, Mountain View moved the ball systematically and methodically with the ball, punching the ball up inside, and they were able to run on Rocky on a consistent basis. But they weren't able to convert with the pass, any kind of play action, until the very end. So we had two really big scoring plays. We had a 54-yarder, and we had a 57-yarder. So both teams showed that they can score the ball on big bursts with explosive plays. Rocky is probably kicking themselves at this point. They had the ball in really good scoring position down near the goal line, and they weren't able to just punch it in, which would have given them a bigger lead at that point. But at this point, 14-9, it's a well-played football game. We did get some penalties in the second quarter, and they chipped away at each other, a little bit of feistiness there. But I think two well-coached football teams. I think, early season, tough to execute as well as they would like on offense. And usually, generally speaking, defense wins in the beginning. Defense wins in the beginning of the season, and the offense really starts clicking. So you can kind of see that happening right now. I did expect to see more from Rocky on the offensive side.
Yeah, for a team that scored 21 against Middleton in their 0 week and then 30 last week against a tough Coeur d'Alene team, to be held to 9 points here in the first half, does that say more about their offensive struggles or about the defensive preparations by Mountain View?
I think it says a lot about Mountain View, and I think that they're a really well-coached football team. I think size-wise they match up really well. As you look at, every roster's inflated. Everybody's an inch taller and about 20 pounds heavier than they generally are, 10 to 15 pounds heavier. But that being said, they do match up really well, and they've been able to control the line of scrimmage. And I think that that's given Rocky problems because they're used to being able to hit you dinky-dunky. The reliable for them is a 7-yard run. And then you have a 2nd and 3, and that opens up everything over the top. So I think it's Mountain View keeping Rocky in check. Now, the flip side is I don't think Rocky's out of this.
No.
I think Rocky can absolutely come back, make some adjustments at halftime, and use a lot of those big, skilled, athletic kids that they have. Jacobson, number 2 recruit in the state of Utah, has had one ball thrown at him. One. It was thrown over. It was deflected. They haven't even been able to utilize some of their bigger weapons at this point.
Outside of those couple long touchdown passes, neither team has really established the passing game very well.
Yeah, and Mountain View's had a couple of dunks underneath where they've read the zone and the guy settled in kind of in that slot, been able to pick up some yardage, but nothing on a consistent basis, nothing that would make you say, if I'm the Rocky defense, nothing that makes me say, I got to really respect this quarterback. I've really got to, drop rush 3, drop 8, nothing like that. And I think both sides are kind of running into that same thing. Rockies crowd the line of scrimmage now, and that's how that last touchdown pass, because they were able to move the ball, run the ball a little bit, they were able to hit that deep ball for that 54-yarder.
Well, let's take another break here on IdahoSports.com. We'll come back and we'll check some scores from around the state and also see what we think is coming up in the second half of play. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to IdahoSports.com. Live from Mountain View High School. Your score, the Mountain View Mavericks leading the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies by a score of 14-9 here at half. Catching up on some scores from around the state in the second quarter down in American Fork, Utah. It's Rigby 7, American Fork High School 3. So you were just talking about that about that game, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a huge game. My good friend is calling the game down there on KSL.com, and that's huge for the state of Idaho, and here's a reason why. Rigby is a top 3 team in the state. We have them ranked at number 2. American Fork is a top 5 or 6 team in the state of Utah and a perennial powerhouse. This really shows one-to-one talent level. And the thing that I like about this, too, is Rigby is a sum of parts versus an individual player.
So really a great game going on down there. Bishop Kelly leading Centennial 14-0. Boise leading undefeated Owyhee at Donald Larson Park 16-10 in the second quarter. So good ball game there. Another good ball game, maybe a surprise to some people at Eagle High School. Eagle 7, CUNA 0. So CUNA really hanging in there against a tough Eagle team.
Yeah, and Eagle really needs to kind of find themselves. They got walloped to the 0 week versus Meridian, and then they had the bye week, and they feel like they have some stuff figured out moving forward. They have some quarterback play they have to figure out. I was going to say, by the way, Boise High undefeated also.
Yeah. Yeah, that's surprises some people. Surprises me. Doesn't surprise the Boise players, though. They really bought into that system there. Lewiston leading Capital 6-0 at Lewiston High School. Blackfoot over Madison 14-7. And Post Falls leading Timberline 7-0. Middleton all over Skyview 21-0 at the half. And then Thunder Ridge laying the wood on Hillcrest 28-7 in the second quarter. Anything stand out there for you, Luke?
Ryan.
Mr. Luke?
Yeah,
Ryan?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the Skyline Pocatello, I know Skyline's a good team, but they did get beat by a Utah team last week. I believe it was Logan High School. But Highland High School, who is ranked in the top 5, number 4 I think that they have them, is laying an egg and at this point. And those, it's just battle the freeway, go I-15, go hit the other team, go play the other school. So I'm surprised Highland, which they are moving into a new era, right? There's new coaches.
Yep.
They're kind of shifting a little bit, pivoting in terms of the offense they're going to run. I found that one to be quite interesting. The other one, too, is Post Falls versus Timberline. I called the Boise versus Timberline game, and Boise came out and thumped them. Thumped them hard. I thought Timberline physically looked good. They just couldn't put it together. So now, and then I called the Post Falls games last week versus Skyline Utah, and to see Timberline go all the way north and hang with them and only have it 7-0 in the first quarter, that's kind of that's impressive in my book.
Some other local scores here from the other divisions. From the 4A, Valley View trailing Burley 32-30 at the half. So we were just talking off air about 8-man football, and if you're offensive-minded, you have to love 8-man. Here's an 11-man score, 32-30 at the half, so putting up the points there from Burley High School. Emmett all over Fruitland, 20-0. Fruitland undergoing a coaching change here after the first week of the season. That was an interesting thing. Haven't heard too much about that. But former NFL player Jordan Gross now at the helm of the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and that's got to be fun. You got to look at some of those. Where is Shea McClellan's coaching in? Marsing. You got to have fun. Some of those smaller schools, smaller towns. And, hey, Fruitland's a good powerhouse football team. We'll see how that kind of plays out with them. But to be honest with you, that's tough because then you have to regroup, refresh, and say, hey, what are we doing different?
Just looking for some other local scores here. And this is all on the Friday Night Flash. If you just go to the main page of IdahoSports.com, it's all right there.
The other one that was sticking out in my mind is a team to watch in 4A this year is Bishop Kelly. They're perennial contenders.
Yeah.
They quietly go about their business. They run the ball quite a bit. They do it. They're not extremely flashy. They're up 14-0 on Centennial. Centennial's been down the last few years. But that being said, I think Bishop Kelly continues to build momentum moving into, we'll call it 4A, quote-unquote 4A regular season.
A score near and dear to my heart. Council leading Notice, 16-8. Go Lumberjacks. And then Valley leading Wilder 14-0 in the second quarter. That's from the 1A D1. And 1A D2, a couple early games today. High-scoring ball games. Lewis County over Tri-Valley 34-16. And again, that Council score. But again, all these scores available on the Friday Night Flash here at IdahoSports.com. Check it out. We keep it as up-to-date as we can. And we got 4:57, so just under 5 minutes to go here. We're going to step aside for one more commercial break and be back for the second half kickoff here on IdahoSports.com.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
Welcome back to Mountain View High School here on IdahoSports.com. Ladies and gentlemen, halftime score 14-9. Second half just about ready to get underway. Ryan, what do you think you'll see here in the second half?
Well, let me tell you what I saw when I ran down the stadiums. This student section's crazy.
Yeah, they are. They are rowdy.
It's as good a student section as you'll ever see. So hats off to the Mountain View student section for all the support they're getting. And these stands are full. I was able to take a look. The far side's full of the Rocky fans. The standing room only. People are pouring out both sides. And then on the Mountain View side, I mean, we're talking the 10 to the 10, just chock full of fans, and everybody's excited. And I think all of that leads up to an electric atmosphere. You don't think these kids can't feel it? They absolutely can feel it. They know what's going on. That being said, you got to stick to your game plan. Stick to your ball game. Do what you do best. And Rocky, for example, we'll start with Rocky. If you're that team, you have to be able to run the ball. You have to run efficiently and start blowing people off the line. You know that Mountain View is going to make you throw the ball. They have showed that they want to make you one-dimensional. That being said, you still have to establish your run. You can't just abandon it altogether yet. There may be a time and a place for that. Now, if you're Mountain View, same thing. You got a big play at the end there to get a ton of momentum. Now, Rocky gets the ball, but if you're Mountain View, you got to keep stuffing the run and make them a one-dimensional team. And then do what you're doing on offense. Dink and dunk, take those 4 to 5 yard gains, and then get the big hitter. And like I said, I felt like the passing game for Mountain View would be critical, and we saw that on that huge chunk touchdown.
Yeah, and that's really been the story of this ballgame. It's just 2 big plays, one for each team. 54-yard touchdown pass from Wall to Cobb for Mountain View, and a 57-yard touchdown pass from Sweeney to Lucchini for Rocky Mountain. And outside of a 1-yard run from McGee and a field goal for Rocky Mountain from Anderson, I mean, that's been the scoring this ballgame. I thought it would be more offensively minded here, but it's been a defensive battle for both teams.
Defensive battle, and we've said it a few times. I feel like it's good coaching and good defensive execution. That's good scouting, watching a lot of film on these guys and knowing what they really do well and taking that away from them. Making the other team play outside of themselves so that they are uncomfortable. And hats off to both teams. I mean, this is by no means over. This is like a fresh ball game at this point.
Well, deep to return for Rocky Mountain to start the second half. Number 2, Art Williams. Number 6, Troy Wilkie. And Cunnington getting ready to kick off for Mountain View. He's put all 3 of his kickoffs into the end zone. Let's see if number 4 finds the same as well. And it will. So Rocky Mountain will start the second half 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And I don't know if we can emphasize it enough. A big leg, being able to pin somebody and only allow no return at all, and just starting at the 20-yard line, that's huge and that's critical. That's a weapon at the high school level.
Absolutely. And, in a game like this, it might come down to a field goal. So, the legs for both teams might be a deciding factor in this ballgame.
Absolutely might be a deciding factor. And they play good special teams.
So 1st and 10, Rocky Mountain setting up at their own 20. It's Sweeney with Williams in the backfield. 2 receivers high. And we have a false start before the first snap.
Yeah,
Big number 87, Trevor Beck, getting up in his quarterback's face, asking where the snap was.
Yeah, not a good sign. You don't want to say that, hey, we got it. But it looks like a little bit of discord there on the Rocky side. Maybe a bit of frustration starting to settle in.
It's not a good sign coming out first play at halftime.
Not at all. Now you're starting 1st and 15.
So 2 men in motion, reset the strong side to the far side. Hand off to Williams. Williams shaking and baking, looking for somewhere to run. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might even have lost a yard. Picked up 4 yards on the play. Sorry, it was 1st and 15.
Miles Childs has played a fantastic game, staying home right there at the outside linebacker spot. And he's been playing the max side, so the strong side, and stepping up in that hole, not allowing for bigger gains on the run.
So 2nd and 11 now for Rocky Mountain.
The mic is what I meant to say, not Mac.
I knew what you meant.
Thank you, sir.
This time it's number 26, Jeff Thompson in the backfield with Sweeney. Twin receivers high and low. Thompson comes to the near side in motion. Sweeney with all sorts of time, looks across the middle, has his man open. And a nice catch there by number 16, Carson Adams.
Yeah, and Adams just ran that comeback route. Kai Ackley had been taking quite a bit of time off from guarding Jacobson. He's on this side of the field. And he was able to, he didn't get there in time. He played the ball perfectly, but a great squeeze by the offensive player to hold on to the ball.
So 1st and 10 now, as I had to turn the lights on. My eyesight's not what it used to be trying to read these rosters. So it's Brecken Albert in the backfield now. Sweeney puts him in motion to the top of the field. Sweeney drops back, looks across the middle again. This time tipped but caught. That's number 80, Jaron Akibi. And Akibi is going to the house. Touchdown. 66-yard score?
66-yard score in what should have been. And what a terrible situation. Kai Ackley, who I think tipped the ball, looks like he really hurt himself on that play. So not only did he not get the pick, he also tipped it into the hands of the receiver for the long touchdown. What an incredible play, if I'm being honest.
What a turn of events, yeah. Yeah, the defense was right there, tipped it into the hands of Akibi. Akibi did the rest with that speed. Again, not a big guy, 5'8", 160, but he has got jets.
Yeah, fast, and once he got just a step on him, nobody was going to catch him. But this is very unfortunate for Kai Ackley, probably a stinger of sorts. I mean, on that left shoulder, it looks like he's having some issues. A lot of times dislocations if you're falling on that as he was reaching for the ball.
And hopefully it's not too bad. He'll be able to shake it off. We'll see him back out in action.
Yeah, they're high school kids. They bounce back. You hope it's not a collarbone. He's been playing a good ball game,
yeah,
too.
He really has.
Been playing a great ball game. He's manned up really well on Jacobson whenever he's been on one-on-one coverage with him.
So here comes Rocky. Are they setting up for two? Looks like they are. Sweeney comes out, yeah. Sweeney with Thompson to his right. Comes a late substitution in for Rocky. It's one of the receivers. So two receivers low, one to the top of the screen. Thompson to the right of Sweeney. Sweeney puts a man in motion. Trip receivers now to the low screen. Sweeney drops back, has time, looks, throws, and that is going to be good. They say he got a toe in.
That was Jacobson, the big tight end, but he actually plays receiver at the high school level, but the big tight end, he caught that ball at the peak. I mean, it was up high, and then he put his feet in, and I watched him grab that, look at his feet and say, hey, I need to get these in. It was a close toe tap right at the end zone, right at the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that was a close call. The Mountain View fans aren't happy with it, as you'd expect, but a great job there to get that toe in before he was dropped out of bounds. So what a great opening drive there by Rocky Mountain. You couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Yeah, you got to be thrilled. You have the lead. You showed some explosiveness, albeit on a fluke play, but you showed the explosiveness, and you got the ball down the field quickly for a big score. Mountain View, again, in like any situation, needs to respond, but not only needs to respond, they got to take momentum back.
Yep. And they're going to have to do it here quickly. You don't want to let this thing get away. You know, and it can be demoralizing to go in playing strong as you were and to come out and give up a couple big plays there and find yourself down on the first drive.
Well, it was the type of the play too, right?
Yeah,
you should have had a pick.
Yep.
You should have had a pick. Tipped the ball, but great awareness by Akibe, by grabbing that ball, and then Jacobson for that 2-point conversion. Rocky's got to be thrilled at this point.
So deep to return for the Mavs, Rogers and McGee. It looks like it'll be McGee taking this one from about the 1-yard line. He's got some room to run. Here comes the flag, though. I think that's coming back. There was a block in the back. Pretty obvious one. I was able to see it from up here.
And your eyes, like you say, aren't what they used to be.
They are definitely not what they used to be.
Hey, by the way, Hayden Thompson made a great tackle on that. He's just a sophomore, but he came out wrapped up really well and threw him down.
So that'll back him up 5 yards from the spot. That'll take him from the 21 to the 16, be 1st and 10, Mountain View. 10 yards from the spot. He just made the correction. So it'll be 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. That'll be from the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big field, too, especially when momentum kind of got rocked from you. But you still have to have a bit of confidence as Mountain View were able to move the ball quite well in the first half in chunks. Not massive chunks, small chunks.
But as long as small chunks result in scores.
I'll take it.
So Wall all alone in the backfield.
Or is he?
Oh, no, he's not. He had a little guy behind him. That's McGee, who was hidden right behind the big quarterback. So single receivers high and low. Here's the handoff to McGee. McGee looking for room to run and finds absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, and that's Rocky saying, hey, you're not going to run on us. We gave up too much in the first half. That was Parker Weatherly, who came in as the defensive lineman, the defensive end position. Just he collapsed that side of the offensive line and went right into the running back.
The loss of 1 on the play, bring up 2nd and 11. So now twin receivers low, twin receivers high for Mountain View. As Wall gets the audible from the sideline, makes the adjustments at the line. Drops back, has some time. Now he's getting flushed, and there's a flag down in the backfield. I think that's going to be a hold.
Yeah, that'll be a holding call, which is unfortunate. And you could see Wall, he was rearing back. He wanted to let one rip, but Rocky learned from their mistakes, sent both safeties back way deep. It didn't allow anything over the top.
So it'll be half the distance from the spot of the foul. That'll move the ball back inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and a chunk, about 2nd and 18.
And not the start you're looking for if you're Mountain View right now.
No.
You needed offensive, you needed positive plays moving forward to start this half.
And now you're taking the snap in your own end zone. So man in motion, that's McGee circling around. He's going to take the handoff. And he is not going to pick up anything as this D-line for Rocky has stepped up to start this second half.
Yeah, they're playing with some fire now. You can see it. They're moving laterally. They're plugging holes. They've keyed into a little bit of that zone blocking scheme, which means they basically say slide and let the guy try to cut and then push your man into him. Doing a good job.
So 3rd and really long here for Mountain View. Wall alone in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Picked up nicely, but he's in trouble. He's scrambling out, looking for a place to pass it. Completes the pass underneath.
Wow.
Nope, they're going to call it incomplete.
Oh, boy, we got some conflicting calls here, but regardless of the call, he did a fantastic job. He threw against his body, threw against the grain, and now they're calling it incomplete.
Yeah, and that was huge because that was a first down pickup right there, but the ball, that was intended for number 21. Makai Patwell just wasn't able to get his hands underneath it. It was close, but incomplete, and it's going to bring up 4th and long.
Oh, man, and what a killer, right? You have what you think is a completion for a first down. You just gave up a huge touchdown, and now you're punting from your own end zone. This is tough first series for Mountain View. I expect them to stay in the game, keep their heads in the game. They're not out of this thing by any means.
Oh, no, not at all. There's a short kick. Well, it gets a huge bounce, though. Not a short kick. That hit at the 50.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be shorter than it was.
Flipped the field a little. Well, it didn't flip the field. It's phenomenal field position to start.
Yeah.
But from where you were.
Yeah, from your own end zone out across the plus side of the 50.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to that play, he was rolling right, and he did a really good job. He felt the pressure coming from his left, and he was able to step up. He stepped forward, and then he threw it. And you tell a young quarterback, I've said this for the last 2 weeks, never throw against your body.
Yeah.
Never, ever throw against your body. But he had the arm strength, and he showed it on a couple plays. But he had the arm strength, and he threw it out there in what looked like a completion from here, but we were behind somewhat of the receiver.
So 1st and 10, Rocky Mountain at their own 46-yard line. So good field position here for their second possession. Sweeney hands the ball off. That's number 3, Brecken Albert. Albert picks up about 3 yards on the play. Make it 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7, get the ball. You still got to run the ball. You still have to establish the run game, and like we talked about from the beginning, and Rocky still has to commit to that. Looks like they're doing that.
So 2nd and 7 here. Albert shifts behind Sweeney. Twin receivers to the top of your screen. Just a lone one down low. Albert steps up. Sweeney drops back, looks, goes deep, unloads. Has a receiver, has a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Rocky Mountain. That is number 11, Luke Lucchini, again with another long touchdown catch. But there's a flag. There's a flag at the 46-yard line. This may be coming back. Ooh, how big is that?
That's massive.
That takes a 54-yard touchdown score off the board. Makes 6 points into a 2nd and 20.
Yeah, a couple things we saw on that one. First of all, we saw how well the offensive line protected him. They only rushed 4 on that one. They did bring a man up in the box, but he kind of stayed home on somewhat of a run blitz. And then number 2, we saw the arm strength of Tegan Sweeney. I mean, he pushed the ball downfield really well and dropped it right where only his man could get it, right in stride.
But all for nothing.
Yeah, all for nothing at that point.
It'll be 2nd and 16 to go here. So a huge penalty against Rocky. Sweeney drops back, a little pass underneath. That's complete to number 12, Luke Hanchett. He picks up, let's see where they marked. He picks up about 3 yards on the play. So it'll be 3rd and 13.
Talk about drive killers or buzz kills, right?
Yeah.
Those penalties will kill you every time. We've seen it both sides. We've seen it from both teams at the beginning of this second half.
That hurts, taking a 54-yard touchdown pass off the board. Man in motion to the near side. Empty backfield. Sweeney drops back. Looking deep again. Has a receiver open and caught, but the flag comes in. I think that might be offensive pass interference. C.J. Jacobson able to come down with the ball, but he may have shoved that defender off.
Yeah, and I watched him the whole time because I knew Tegan Sweeney was going to come to him, and that was just the defender fell down. That was not actually a good call. No offense to the official, but he wasn't looking at it when it happened, and the guy literally just tripped. He didn't push. Jacobson didn't do anything. So, you know, that's unfortunate that was called back, but that is what it is. And, again, buzz-killing drive.
So 2 big penalties there against Rocky Mountain on this drive.
Yeah, and bit of good news on that one. We do have Kai Ackley back. He's back in the game. Looks like he had a little bit of a stinger. Got some tape on his elbow, and looks like he's back in and ready to go. He was the defender on that play, and again, he just fell down as he was trying to go for it.
Well, that puts the ball all the way back at the 31-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and just short of a country mile here for Rocky Mountain. It's like 3rd and about 35. And before the snap, we have a whistle.
I mean, holy cow at this point. Directionally, which way are we going?
And a late flag comes in as well. We may have unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, a bit of a taunting there. You see that too?
Yeah.
Getting chippy out there. If it isn't unsportsmanlike,
the Mountain View fans chanting, "You can't do that," but Rocky may be chanting the same thing here in just a minute.
The battle of the fans at this point.
Oh, those are going to offset there. So unsportsmanlike on both teams. So maybe a break there for Mountain View.
Yeah.
They got away with one, but you said things got getting a little chippy here. That's the 2nd or 3rd unsportsmanlike we've seen.
And what they didn't say was there was a 5-yard false start on that.
Which will stand.
Which will stand after it's all said. I find those offsetting penalties of the unsport annoying.
Yeah.
It's just annoying at that point.
So the ball all the way back to the Rocky 26-yard line. They have to get to the Mountain View 44-yard line for a 1st down. So 3rd and 31. Sweeney in shotgun. Thompson goes in motion the near side. Sweeney drops back. Has all sorts of time. Now he's under pressure. Now he's forced out of the pocket. Now he's running for his life. Makes a nice cut. And picks up a huge chunk of yardage, but that's going to still be well short of the 1st down. 18 yards on the pickup, but it's going to leave a 4th and 13 for Rocky.
Yeah, great defense by Mountain View. They just kind of played anything deep. Keep everything in front of you. Don't let anything go beyond you. What I found interesting was Rocky's confidence in throwing the deep ball to Jacobson or Lucchini, some of those outside guys. They said they were going to go for it. They ran a play for a 3rd and country mile. They had a play for that.
And if not for a penalty, they would have converted a couple of big plays here on this drive. As it is, they're forced to punt the ball away.
Yeah.
And here comes 2 more flags. I think we're going to have a personal foul against Rocky. Saw one of the special teams guys kind of tossing around his blocker. We'll see what they get here.
Yeah, and that's a tough one too because you're running what they're going to have is the punt returner. He got ran into by one of the Rocky players, but he kind of ran into where the Rocky player was running, and that's a tough one if you're covering a punt. I've done plenty of those where you come down and you don't know where the ball is, and then the guy moves and you have no clue. So tough situation.
So that's a 15-yard penalty. Rocky really shooting themselves in the foot here over the last about 3 or 4 plays.
It's getting ugly now.
Yeah, it kind of is.
You know, the play was crisp in the first quarter. It was a slugfest. Yeah, they weren't moving the ball very well. Either team wasn't moving the ball really well. But what we saw was that it was pretty crisp. Good tackles, and now getting ugly.
Yeah, the wheels on the bus are coming off a little bit for both teams as we have 5.5 left in the third quarter. Rocky Mountain still holding on to a 17-14 lead. But Mountain View in great field position here at their own 44-yard line, looking to put some points up.
And you're seeing Rocky with a four down lineman at this point. They're committing to stopping the run with the 4 down lineman.
Yeah, just single receiver high and low for Mountain View. Here's the handoff to McGee. McGee keeping his legs churning. He's going to get up to about the 49-yard line, so a pick up a 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Mavericks.
Yeah, Kate Stedman was there on the tackle for Rocky, but McGee made a good cut, and Gage Tanner went right by him on that one. Otherwise, he'd have been stuffed further in the backfield or closer to the line of scrimmage.
So same formation, single high, single low. McGee in the backfield behind Dawson Wall. Wall looks to the sideline, calls the audible. Here's the snap, the handoff McGee to the top side. Has to stutter step around as there was great penetration from the Rocky D.
Yeah, and that was a pretty obvious holding call. And that was a freshman, by the way. They held the freshman defensive lineman, Rowan Rupp, just a 9th grader, 6'2", 220 as he made up field.
Wow. That is a big freshman.
That's a big old freshman. Getting some playing time on the varsity level and drawing a big holding call, which is really going to affect the field position for Mountain View.
Backs him all the way up to the 35-yard line. So that makes it about 2nd and 20. So see what Mountain View has drawn up for 2nd and long here. And they're going to pick up a 5-yard penalty right there on the defensive offside. So 2nd down and 20 becomes a 2nd down and 15.
Number 18, Parker Weatherly, the defensive end from Rocky, really anxious, wanted to get up there, and you saw what was going on. He took one step, and he was supposed to look down the line to see which direction he was going to stop the run. They're committed to stopping the run.
So I think we had 4 penalty flags in the first half. We have 7 already here with 4.5 left in the third quarter.
I was going to say 70. We've had 70, feels like.
Yeah. I don't think we've had back-to-back plays here in the last few minutes without a flag.
You know, that really screws up the flow of the game.
It does. It really does. Here's McGee with the inside handoff. Finds some room to run there. Gets it up to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard pass, so it'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Justin Bunt on the tackle there, the defensive lineman kind of slid there and upended him, but it was a few yards downfield. Now you have this 3rd and 8 play. What is your 3rd and 8 at this point?
I don't even know. You'd think pass, but Mountain View has really stuck to their run game tonight.
Yeah, and they're really playing that hard cadence. They call a couple of plays. They have one play called, call up there, see if they can get somebody to jump. If not, then they look to the sideline for the secondary play call.
And just a receiver high, a receiver low. McGee in the backfield behind Wall. Here's the fake handoff, looking across the middle, zips it, and just off the fingertips of the intended receiver. That was intended for number 5, Kyle Cook, the big tight end. Just couldn't find the handle.
Yeah, and he was running the right route. It was the right route. He ran the right route, but it was just a little underthrown. It was basically flat. It was funny. The linebacker, Ty Page, number 4, he's 5'11". If he would have been 6'1", I think he'd had a pick there. He got his hands out there and was able to kind of tip it.
So by 5'11", you mean 5'8", and needed to be 6'1".
His roster height's 5'11". There they go.
Wall drops back to punt, gets the kick away.
Wall, the all-state punter.
Yeah, there's a high kick, hits at the 30, takes a Rocky Mountain bounce backwards.
Boy, what a weird chain of events, to begin this half. You have the long touchdown that's called back. You have the penalties back and forth. There's no continuity, no cadence to anything right now. It feels a little sloppy. I mean, hand it to Rocky. They did get the one touchdown coming out of that, but that was even a fluke like we talked about, the tip ball for the touchdown.
There just hasn't been that hasn't been the same flow here in the second half as there was in the first.
No, not at all. And if you're the coach, when you have your offense on the sideline, you say, hey, guys, take a breath.
Yeah.
Let's regroup. We got to get this together because the penalties are killing us. Just play clean football. I know this is your rival. There's a lot of bad blood between these two schools, but just go out and play football.
So Tayshawn Reese in the backfield. Twin receivers to the low side of the screen. Sweeney drops back, looks that way to the low side, has a man across the middle open. That's complete to number 11. That's Luke Lucchini. Lucchini across midfield, well, right at midfield. 19-yard pickup on the play and a first down, Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, it was a great route. He ran that really deep drag route, so that means he went really deep and then just drug across the middle in somewhat of a crossing route. And the quarterback waited for him to clear a defender and then hit him on the button.
Sweeney drops back, unloads deep, and that's going to overthrow everybody. Good coverage downfield by Mountain View right there.
So Sweeney put that ball 55 yards in the air.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all at the high school level. I mean, unless you're Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
I'll take it. And it was a clean ball, too. A little bit of wobble, but he put it too far for his receiver. Kid's showing some pretty good arm strength.
I've been impressed with him all night. He's composed in the pocket. He knows when he can feel the pressure coming, knows when he needs to run, but he hangs in there as long as he can before he breaks out.
That's a lot of confidence in his offensive line.
Well, and deservedly. This is a great offensive line he's got in front of him.
I don't think he's given up a sack. There hasn't been a sack given up this whole game.
Sweeney drops back again, this time under pressure, somehow gets away. And looks to the top of the screen, has a receiver open. That's Akibi again. He's having himself a heck of a night tonight, all the way down inside the 20 to the 19.
Just as I say, no sacks. Coming off the edge, it was just a straight rush. He got around his man, but Sweeney stepped up, avoided the pressure, and then when he threw that, he didn't even have his feet set.
Yeah.
He whipped his body, and he threw that ball about 35 yards down the field on a rope.
So 2:45 left in the third quarter. Rocky Mountain on the move. Tayshawn Reese in the backfield now steps up to Sweeney's right. Sweeney drops back, a little crossing route. That's going to be a touchdown, Rocky Mountain. Number 11, Luke Lucchini again. This time no flags on the play.
Yeah, Lucchini just ran that right in the seam, and we've been saying it looks like Tegan Sweeney warmed up his arm because he zipped the ball in there. He put it where only his man could get it as Lucchini came across the middle through a lot of traffic, just guided a missile in there for the touchdown.
Lucchini's second touchdown reception of the night.
Third, but one didn't count.
Yeah. Had me panicked there for a second. I only had him down for 2.
Sorry, man.
Rocky again lining up to go for 2. Akibi in motion to the lower side of the screen. Sweeney with all sorts of time, throws it, and incomplete. No flags. So with 2:25 left to go in the third quarter, Rocky Mountain Grizzlies 23. The Mountain View Mavericks 14 here on IdahoSports.com. Make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $9.95. Just click the button in the top right to order. And follow IdahoSports.com on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. Click the icons in the top left to follow us now.
That 2-point conversion was the exact same play, going to the exact same person. Different result, didn't put it up high enough, and Jacobson wasn't able to bring it in. So as I look at it now, all of a sudden that momentum is leaning pretty heavy Rocky at this point.
Yeah.
And this is what you didn't want to have happen if you were Mountain View, because you're facing a team that's incredibly potent. I mean, they've seen big chunks taken out of against their defense. They've held tight, held, and then big chunk for a touchdown or big yardage down the field. And this is what you don't want to have happen. So you're not playing necessarily a bad game. You just have to tighten it up a little bit and not allow those big plays. If that means softening up on the run to keep them from getting those chunks, maybe dropping an extra man in the coverage, that might have to happen now.
And now Mountain View's looking at a 2-score deficit. So they're going to need to turn this around quickly. It's the kickoff. Fielded at the 5-yard line. Brought across the 15, across the 20, still on his feet and going, but up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, you want to know.
That was Rogers on the return.
Yeah, and Gage Tanner, the starting linebacker, whose name we've been calling all night. You want to know how important special teams are to both of these teams? That's a starter in there.
Yeah.
That's your starting middle linebacker who's getting looks at the next level. Learned, I think he was the second-team all-conference player last year. He's in there on special teams on coverage.
Everybody has a role to play here, and they're playing them well.
Yeah, and it's not like they don't have enough kids. I mean, Rocky and both Mountain View and Rocky dress a lot of kids, but they're putting their best foot forward. That's how much this game means to them, and I think they do that every game.
And really no such thing as a down game. Mountain View comes out 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Really needing to put something together here to get some points on the board. Ball drops back, quick hit, wide receiver screen, complete. Let me get a number here. 84. Deontay Cobb on the catch. Pickup of about 5 yards on the play. So 2nd and a long 5 here for Mountain View. Looks like the blitz is coming top of the screen. Nope, they call it off. There's the screen to McGee. McGee makes a nice catch. Had to go up high for it. Only picks up a couple yards.
Yeah, and I'm not going to call them the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they disguised that blitz really well. They ran a man up to the line looking like he was going to blitz. Then they brought the corner in, dropped the linebacker out to cover the flat that he vacated. Kind of screwed him up a little bit, but it was going to be a screen pass regardless.
So 3rd and 4 now. As Rocky switches coverage at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, in Rocky now looking to confuse Dawson Wall a little bit with some of those coverages or the blitzes where they're coming from. They call them exotic blitzes, right? Sending a cornerback or dropping or bringing a safety from all different parts of the field.
McGee in motion, sets up behind Wall, gets the handoff, looking for room to run, has to change direction. He's got some space, and it's going to be close. I think he picked it up.
Yeah, I think he did too. What a good athlete. You can see that was all athleticism at that point, and I don't know how fast McKee is. He hasn't been able to burst out in the open, but he showed good balance and good patience as he's running to that far sideline, picked his way through, and this is what I really liked about it. He finished the play forward for the first down.
Comes with 45 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Here's the handoff to McGee. Just following his blockers, trying to pick up some yards. Picks up a couple. So it'll be 2nd and 8. We'll see if they get off one more play before the end of the quarter.
You want to talk about a gauntlet. Mountain View kicks off with Meridian, one of the top teams in the state. Then they have to play Rocky, the top team in the state. This, we'll call it the Eagle Road Corridor or whatever you want to call it on this side of Ada County, is a gauntlet.
There's a quick hit to the near side. That's complete to number 10, Colin Rogers, and Rogers picks up the first down across midfield to the 45-yard line.
It's an interesting play, defensive call on that. What you're doing is you're playing your angle. You're allowing the guy, because you know it's a throw to the far sideline, and you're daring the quarterback, saying, hey, do you have enough arm to get here? And he's shown us. Dawson Wall has whipped that ball in there.
Both quarterbacks have cannons on their shoulders. There it is again. This time complete across the middle to number 5. That's Kyle Cook. That's pick up of 9 yards up to the 34-yard line. They're going to spot it to 35 and give him the first down.
All of a sudden, Mountain View has a little momentum. You make some completions. It's the end of the quarter. But Mountain View starting to gain a little bit of momentum here in the second half.
Yeah, you almost hate to see the quarter end with the way you were moving the ball right there. But that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Your score, Rocky Mountain 23, Mountain View 14 here on IdahoSports.com. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
No matter what life holds, we'll be there for you. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to IdahoSports.com. Getting ready to start the fourth quarter of play. Rocky Mountain leading 23-14 over Mountain View here in the Battle of the Mountains. But Mountain View driving here. They're going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the Rocky 35-yard line to start the fourth quarter of play.
Yeah, big drive for Mountain View. This is an answer to everything that's gone on for the previous 2 drives for Rocky. Very well needed and timely, putting this drive together, getting some positive yards.
So Dawson Wall in shotgun as he's been all night. McGee right behind him. Twin receivers high, twin receivers low. Here's the handoff to McGee. McGee up the middle, breaks the first tackle, and gets into that third level before he's dropped by the defender there.
Yeah, Art Williams said, all right, you're going down. He just dropped his shoulder and knocked him over. But, hey, hand it to McGee on that one. He just took it and he just danced his way up through there. He's a kind of a linear runner, and he moved the ball forward. Really well done.
Pickup of 8 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 2. Here's the handoff again.
He took a
shot
hit
to the head there. There's the flag that I thought should have been coming in.
Yeah.
And that's another tough call because McGee was going to the ground.
Yeah, and I just don't think that he hit him with his head. I really don't. I mean, I think that his head hit the defender's knee. Those are 2 calls that I think are a little suspect, in my opinion, but not much you can do.
Yeah, it's always tough when you see that contact to the head.
Yeah, he put his head down, he leaned forward, and the defender's coming in. It's like, well, what do I do now? And he ran in right into his thigh, knee area.
Oh, they're not going to call that. They're going to call a dead ball late hit.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. So they called the tackle a clean tackle, but there was some extracurricular activities going on. A big 15-yard penalty there puts the ball 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Well, hey, Mountain View responding deep now in Rocky Mountain territory. It's exactly what you needed.
So 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Twin receivers high, a man on an island down low. And the handoff to McGee, who just follows his blockers up the left side, picks up 2 or 3 yards on the run, up to the 10-yard line.
And this is what Mountain View had success in the first half, is you lull these guys to sleep with getting these chunks of yardage like we talked about, 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. You're content with that, and the next thing you know, you hit a big gainer. Being this close to the end zone, though, Rocky can really kind of pack it in.
Yeah. Make it a little tougher on Mountain View to open up that playbook. There's a crossing pattern inside the 5-yard line. Just a little post play right there. Caught it about the 3-yard line. That's going to be enough. Well, it's going to be right at the sticks, and they're going to give it to him. 1st down, Mountain View.
Good whip of the arm. He just turned, hit the man right in stride. That was a quick throw.
It's the handoff to McGee. McGee looking for room, pushing the pile. Pushing the pile. Touchdown, Mountain View. McGee on the 3-yard run.
Just an easy dive up the middle. McGee followed his big man up front, and Mountain View's found success moving the defensive line off the ball, kind of blasting their way forward. McGee covered it with both hands as he went right up behind the center and guard on the left side and just dropped in for the touchdown.
They haven't been put the score up on the board yet. Is there a flag? There is a flag on the field. That came in late. It's right there at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be on Rocky. Waiting the call. Looks like that was on Cade Stedman, the unsportsmanlike conduct.
And was that his second? That's his second. Is that an ejection?
Or maybe it was a 90. I don't know who that was. Said it looked like it sounded like number 9.
So they're going to take the penalty on the kickoff. So they'll send Cunnington out to try to kick the extra point.
Big extra point, because a field goal actually will win the game for you if they convert.
If they convert, yeah. But Cunnington has shown a big leg all night tonight on the kickoffs, on the extra points. Snap is down, snap is good. Kick is absolutely bombed good.
I thought he was going to hit the scoreboard in the back.
He may have put that one over the fence. Well, with 10.5 left to go in the ball game, Rocky Mountain 23, Mountain View with a big answer, 21, just trailing by 2 points here, and got right back into the ball game on that drive.
Yeah, and a fantastic drive. Rocky didn't help themselves by any means, with some penalties and some critical some critical mistakes on that drive. But Mountain View did what they needed to do. They ran the ball well, were consistent, and just chugged the ball. Chug, when I say chug like a train, not chuck. Chugged like a train down all the way in. And you know what? That actually puts a different statement out there, too. You kind of impose your will on the defensive line for Rocky, on the defense, by moving the ball like that. That's a great way to shut down any kind of momentum and take it from them and put it back on your side.
Any chance with this kind of kickoff field position we see an onside kick?
I don't know. I just want to see if he's going to kick a field goal from here, because he'll absolutely drill it.
Ball's at the 45-yard line of Rocky after that 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty.
But yes, this would be a great opportunity to kind of squib it.
Just waiting for the whistle. There it is. There's the kick, and it's going to go deep into the Meridian Knight.
He hit it. It's good.
No doubt he's got a leg, as he gets a little chest bump out there at the 40.
You know, if Coach went to him and said, hey, put it through the uprights, hats off to Coach. You got to have fun while you're playing this game. So good times.
And that leg could, we talked about it. It could come down to a field goal here.
Yeah, it certainly can. I mean, Rocky's already kicked a field goal. If you're close and you have a big leg and you have a shot to win the game.
So 1st and 10, Rocky Mountain at their own 20-yard line.
So Mountain View now has to prove that they can stop Rocky. Rocky's kind of found their rhythm on offense, and they've been able to move the ball kind of at ease at this point. So Mountain View does need to step up and show that they can stop them.
And can't give up a deep pass.
Can't.
They did a couple times and got bailed out that last drive.
Yeah, with no safeties back, and I don't know if they can get back fast enough even if they do drop a safety.
Sweeney drops back under pressure, and he goes down for the first time tonight. He is buried at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, and that was Kyle Cook, number 5, the tight end that's playing both sides at this point. He came in, or is that number 6? Yeah, these uniforms, love them, hate them, whatever you want to call them.
Number 6, it's number 6.
We'll go with 6. That was Ivan Perkins at this point. The linebacker came in on a blitz, just didn't pick it up, and that's a big sack. That's a loss of what, 8 yards, 9 yards at this point?
Yeah, 9 yards, so 2nd and 19. So trip receivers to the top of your screen. Just one receiver down low. Sweeney rolls to his right. Looking for a receiver. Has a man. Has a completion. Caught it, but it was a short completion to number 5, C.J. Jacobson.
That was a long completion. I think you got about 8 or 10 on that one.
Yeah, it was longer than I thought it was.
It's deceiving because of the sticks.
Well, they still have, okay, there it goes. I was going to say they still had the sticks at the original line of scrimmage, but now they've moved it up. So it's 3rd and about 6 now. Sweeney with Albert to his left. sets up a little underneath screen pass complete to 12, Luke Hanchette.
Ooh, that's right at the mark.
And that's going to be right, yep, you said it, right there at the sticks.
I think he's short from the mark. I think they're short, yeah.
Going to be short by, no, they're moving him.
Ooh.
They've given to him. So 1st and 10 right at the 30.
It's probably one of the, and you know, that play was interesting too because they ran that screen pass, which screens haven't worked all night, but they were able to move the ball, and as he got momentum, he got to the sticks, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
There was no falling forward. He was brick-walled. He was stone-walled at that point.
So 1st and 10, Rocky Mountain, with 8.5 left to go in the ball game. Fake the handoff to Sweeney, and Sweeney finds his man at the top screen. That's number 5, C.J. Jacobson.
That was the RPO that they haven't run all night. He stuck the ball in the belly of the running back and then left it there for a minute, and as soon as the defender bailed on Jacobson, saw that he was open, he pulled it out and winged it over to him.
Yeah, pickup of 8 yards on that pass play. Brings up 2nd and 2 now for Rocky Mountain. So 2 in the backfield for Rocky. Sweeney gets the snap, drops back, looks across the middle, has his man. That's number 26. Nearly broke it to Jeff Thompson. Gets all the way down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
Boy,
of Mountain View.
They're small, some of these receivers, but I tell you what, they are fast and they are tough to bring down. Owen McBride, the defender for Mountain View, was able to make a tackle right at the very end. If not, there was nobody behind him.
So 1st and 10. Sweeney's got Thompson behind him. Twin receivers high and low. Quick screen to Akibi. Or quick hit to Akibi. Picks up about 5 yards on the play to the 22.
You can see Mountain View now is respecting that deeper ball because they've been able to get that second level pass, complete a few of those, and so now the defenders are stepping off, and Tegan Sweeney took what was given to him and just whipped the ball over to Akibi for a 7-yard gain.
So 2nd and a long 4 now. As Tayshawn Reese is in the backfield. Another quick hit, this time not paying attention was Akibi. The ball fell incomplete.
Yeah, Sweeney threw it down. He knew it too. He slapped himself saying, doggone it, should have had that one. He was open coming off the line because, again, they're respecting that deeper pattern. And Akibi was wide open as he was going there. If he would have put it 4 inches higher, he probably could have scooped it. Probably could have had himself maybe a touchdown. It looked like he had maybe a seam to run all the way to the end zone.
Well, and with his speed, who knows what can happen once he gets his hands on the ball. So 3rd and 4 now for Rocky Mountain. 6:41 left to go in the ball game. Sweeney drops back, has time, looks across the middle, has a receiver, throws just behind him, incomplete. He had a man open, that was Isaiah Reed. But threw it just behind him, Reed unable to come down with it, brings up 4th and mid-range.
Yeah,
now.
Kai Ackley stuck with him and was running stride for stride. This is the same Kai Ackley that hurt himself earlier in this half, but has come back and done a really good job defending on the pass.
So here's one of those in-between downs right now. I think it's too long for a field goal try, but it's a long 4th down to try to make it. The offense is going to stay out there, 4th and 4.
And I like it. Be aggressive. Play the game to win. Don't play to lose.
So Tayshawn Reese behind Sweeney, goes in motion, just steps up into the pocket. Sweeney drops back, looks across the middle, has a man wide open, catches the ball, was able to hold on. Number 26, Jeff Thompson, but he got absolutely plowed after the catch.
Yeah, he did, and that's a tough one. Number 24 for the defense. I saw that. That's Garrett Freeman. Came over and laid a big hit, just a junior. It looks like he hurt himself, though, on that play, delivering that hit. But, hey, hats off to the receiver. He went off after a fantastic hit.
So 1st and goal now from the 8-yard line. Rocky Mountain looking to put maybe a period at the end of this ball game here as we are down under 6 minutes to play. There's the first down handoff, pick up 2 yards to number 21, Tayshawn Reese.
Rocky pretty much has abandoned the run on this drive and then going exclusively through the air. And hey, it's worked, right?
Yeah, it's worked. Why not?
Stick with it. That's the first run on this drive. They bring in Art Williams in the running back position.
It was one of their workhorses last year. We really haven't called his name too much tonight.
He's been playing a lot on defense.
So Williams behind Sweeney. There's the handoff to Williams. Williams right up the gut to the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2.
It's good, hard-nosed running moving forward. I like to see that, though. Giving high fives, giving the defender, saying, hey, good play, good hit, way to be. A little bit of sportsmanship on the field there.
Respect on both sides of the ball. So 3rd and goal now. This is a big 3rd down for Mountain View defense. As Rocky goes jumbo top side of the screen. Art Williams still in the backfield. Here's the handoff. Williams right up the gut. Did he get there?
Oh, he reached the ball. It looked like they're putting it on the 1-inch line.
They're going to put it right there just outside the goal line, make it 4th and inches. Any doubt Rocky goes for it here?
No.
Yeah.
No. You trust this offensive line. You got some big old boys in there. You lean on them. If anything, and I've said this for the last couple weeks, the lost art of taking the snap under center.
Yeah. Yeah, it really has become a lost art. I mean, it's just, you don't see it in Idaho High School hardly at all anymore.
Meridian's the only school that I have seen do that as of recent, but here we go.
CUNA does some of it too. Sweeney with the quarterback keeper attempt.
There it
gets
is.
In there, touchdown, Rocky Mountain.
And just. I mean, it was.
That was a late call there.
Whew, that was close. I mean, hand it to Mountain View. They dug in and they got low. So touchdown, 1-inch touchdown, no kidding.
And that was a huge drive by Rocky. Not only did it result in a touchdown, it took a lot of time off the clock. Just 3:53 left now in the ball game. And this is a big extra point right here. So right now it's still a 1-possession game.
Yeah, and the kicking team.
Here they come.
And maybe the kicker. There he is.
He was a little late. He's not used to coming out here for the PATs.
Yeah, we don't kick. There we go. There's the timeout. They don't kick extra points at Rocky. They score 2-point conversions.
They're going to have to burn a timeout here as they were late getting their special teams up and going.
There's a lot of statistical analysis that has showed that if you go for 2-point conversions, you'll score 66% of the time, right? Which basically leads to you'll score more points.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you just need 1 point to win, kick the extra point. But if you're going throughout the course of the game, these guys will actually be net 0 at the end of this. If they convert to the extra point, it's going to be a 0. Meaning they will have scored as many extra points or points after the touchdown as possible. And if they would have snuck one of them in, then you're net 1 point.
Yeah. So it's the little things that make a big difference, and we're about to see one of those little things right here.
What was it? There's the and I watched. There's a YouTube's miniseries on this, but he's a college coach now, but the coach from Arkansas, I want to say, that never punted inside his own 40, and he never kicked an extra point unless it was like a 1.
So here's a big PAT try from number 35, Dawson Anderson. Snap is good. Kick is up. Kick is good.
And that's huge.
That is huge. That makes it a 9-point lead with 3:53 left. So Mountain View's going to have to score 2 times in under 4 minutes.
And if there's a team that can do it, you look at it, it's Mountain View. You say, hey, we got a quarterback with a big arm, and he's shown it. He's been able to whip it out there. You have some burners. You have some good speed on the outside. I look to the Mountain View team. I mean, you can't run the ball. You can't afford it. You got to get a quick score, and you got to get a stuff. They have 3 timeouts left, so you got to get something up quick. And it doesn't have to be the touchdown this time. You could go down with your big leg, kick it,
Yeah.
and then see where you stand from there.
Absolutely. Get a quick field goal, go for the onside kick, because either way, that's what you're going to have to do, score on an onside kick.
Yes. I think it just went final, by the way. My friend just texted me, and he said American Fork just won the game 13-7 down there. That's a good game. There's honor in that loss, as they say amongst the Warriors. That's a great game. Idaho showed well. We would have liked to win that one, but
to go down and hang tight.
Yeah, but to hang tight with a really good football team. A couple D1 recruits, a couple BYU guys on that team. BYU, and I want to say a Stanford kid, so on that AF team. So good for them. American Fork, by the way. Sorry, abbreviation.
I know what you meant.
Not American Falls.
Anderson with the kick. Going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. Up to the 20, 25, and ridden out of bounds about the 32-yard line, where Mountain View will take over 1st and 10. It looks like there's a flag. Yep, flag at the 25, so they may be losing some yards here. They didn't need to do that.
No, it was behind the play. It had nothing to do with it.
See what the call here is.
Brody Swearhart made the tackle on that play.
And that's going to be a legal block in the back. It's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll make it 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line of Mountain View. So they're going to have to cover 85 yards, score, get an onside kick, score again with 3:48 left in the ball game.
Yeah, like we said, you don't have to score this time, but you have to be able to kick it. If you don't kick a field goal, if you end up having to kick and you don't convert, that's a ball game. But, the tale of 2 years, Mountain View came out and beat Meridian last year here at the stadium at Mountain View by 1 point at the very end. It was off a missed extra point by Meridian, and then ran the table, went undefeated. Yep. Meridian came back and beat him in the playoffs this year. Staring at 0-2 after these 2 games.
But 2 absolute tough games, and that pass is incomplete.
And I will say this, I don't think that it's the fact that I think Mountain View's down, I don't think Mountain View's down.
No.
I just think Rocky and Meridian are better.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Meridian's better than they were last year as they finished 3rd in the state.
Mountain View's a good team. They look good.
Mountain View will probably win the rest of their games.
Definitely a playoff caliber team. Wall drops back under pressure, and he is going to go down. The sack there all the way back inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, that's Alex Biekic.
There you go.
Thank you, Micah Cranny, on the on the call there. But, yeah, Alex Biekic came in as defensive lineman, 6'2", 230, and you can pin your ears back and start rushing the quarterback knowing they have to throw the ball.
Yeah. So it's 3rd and 16 now. And Mountain View desperately needing a 1st down and goes with the little delayed handoff. That's an interesting call to McGee. McGee up to the 14-yard line. So pick up a 6. It's going to be 4th and 10.
And they're going to punt this thing.
With 3 minutes left.
It kind of looks like they threw the towel in.
Yeah. It does, I'm not sure I agree with it, but I'm not down on the sideline.
Yeah. There's got to be there's a method to the madness, right?
Absolutely, yep.
He's the coach, not me.
First-year coach Brian Compton absolutely knows what he's doing. Longtime assistant here at Mountain View. Earned the head coaching position after Judd Benedict moved on. There's the snap. The kick is away. Nice high, deep punt. Nice spiral. Fielded at the 44. That was returned by number 6, Troy Wilkie, who slipped and fell at the 45. So it'll be 1st and 10. Rocky Mountain at their own 45-yard line. 2:10 to go, and a 9-point advantage for the Grizzlies.
A big hit on the far sideline on the punt coverage. One of the defenders, however you want to call it, one of the punt coverage team was number 4. That's Owen McBride, one of the starting defensive backs. Got his bell rung a little bit on that one.
Yeah, he's coming off the field slowly. Trying to shake off the cobwebs.
Yeah, poor kid. Yeah, he didn't even see it coming either. It was one guy that kind of blocked it, hit another man into him, and so he got hit by his own guy on the far sideline and had nothing to do with it, thinking, man, I didn't do this. It wasn't my fault.
Wasn't even in the play. So 1st and 10, Rocky from their own 45-yard line.
It's all about ball control. Wrap up that ball.
Yep.
Do not fumble.
Handoff goes to Brecken Albert. Albert picks up 3 yards on the play. As we hit 2 minutes left in the ball game, and a timeout taken by Mountain View. Their first charge timeout. Our Army of Idaho sports action photographers are covering games all over the state. We've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu. And always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the IdahoSports.com Prepcast covers every inch of Idaho. Hosted by Brandon Bainey, each Prepcast features one of our in-house experts talking about what's going on in your part of the state. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcast in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing.
You know, I was born in Idaho, raised between Idaho and Utah, went to high school in Utah, played football, went to college, played football in Utah. But, you know, I love Idaho high school football. It is fun. It's exciting. It's competitive. They put a good product on the field. And to be honest with you, the podcast is great. I mean, it's good to know what's going on out there if you're a fan of high school football.
And we cover every part of the state. As Albert goes right up the gut, picks up another 2 yards.
And there's the timeout.
And another timeout, yep, taken by Mountain View, their second charge timeout.
So I had one of my friends that he went to high school here, went to Centennial, but he calls games down in Utah now. And we were having this conversation, and I was saying, well, hey, you know, I mean, Utah high school football is really good football. I mean, it's statistically, it's one of the top 10 in the country, which is amazing. And they put a lot of guys out there, and they compete at the highest level. That being said, my buddy said this, and I mean, this is no knock to any Utah people. This is only some of them. He said, you know, the product's good on the field, but the culture is toxic. And I said the opposite. I said, you know, sometimes we don't have the best product, but we have fantastic culture. I think Idaho high school football culture is fantastic. They play hard. They're competitive. They're serious about what they do, but hopefully it doesn't mean everything to them. You see the guys down on the sidelines, you know, looking at replays and taking it serious, and really buying into the notion that there's something bigger than them, buying into the whole team aspect of it, and that's going to serve them really well for the rest of their lives.
Well, and you look in the stands too. I mean, this is the opening day of a long weekend, the last weekend to really get away and do any camping, and both sides are just packed to the rafters.
And it means something. I mean, this is fun and this is good. It's an electric environment. Like I said, the student section at Mountain View, I don't think there's anyone better. Prove me wrong, rest of the teams out there. Prove me wrong, Eagle. Prove me Meridian, Rocky. What I'm telling you is Mountain View student section is absolutely phenomenal.
So 3rd and 4 now for Rocky. 1:49 left in the ball game. Another first down should just about put it away if Rocky's able to pick it up. Here's the option keeper. That's Sweeney. Sweeney down the sidelines, breaking at 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Tegan Sweeney. 50-yard score by Sweeney.
Man, in what you don't see, because you're not here, but my gosh, he sold the handoff. He left it in the belly of the back for the longest time, and all those defensive linemen jumped on that, followed the running back with the ball, and he pulled it out right at the end, and he ran around untouched. Everybody bit the fake, but he did a phenomenal job keeping it on the hip, riding it all the way through.
And then just turned on the Jets to run away from the defense there.
Yeah, I don't think there was any. I think he was running away from his own man.
Yeah. There was nary a Mountain View defender in sight. PAT kick. Up and good. So with 1:38 left in the ball game, Rocky Mountain has just put this one to bed. 37-21, the Grizzlies over the Mavericks here on IdahoSports.com. Well, what was a close game at halftime, it's kind of turned into a Rocky Mountain blowout here in the second half.
Yeah, it has. And a lot of that is due to just overall talent level. And I'm not saying anything against Mountain View. In fact, these two teams could meet later down the road and it may be a different thing. But at this stage of the season, I look over and I see a really talented roster on the Rocky side. Every bit to earn that number 1 ranking in the state. Playing a really tough Mountain View team who still lost a game and still ranked in the top 5.
Probably drop out of the top 5 this week, even though they've lost, back-to-back games to just really tough teams.
Yeah, they're running a gauntlet, like I said. And, interestingly enough, talk a little bit about Rocky now. Rocky is going to be in the same conference, same division as Meridian, but the 2 teams don't play, which is really bizarre.
Strange to me. That is just.
And so how are you?
That's not right.
It's not right because both teams more theoretically could run the table now in their division, and then match up with somebody on the other side and 2 teams. So then you have who's the division champion. Then you have to go by point differential.
Yep.
Very
Which is
bizarre.
A terrible way to decide it.
Yeah, usually, generally speaking, most states will do a round robin within your region. You play that, you have a region champ. There also is the RPI ranking that they go by, which they do use somewhat here, the Max Preps ranking. So I guess it stands irrelevant, but boy, it sure would be nice to know who would win that game.
There's the kickoff into the end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Mountain View at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I see 2 heavyweights. So you look at Meridian and Rocky right down the road from each other, literally. That could be a very hefty ball game.
Yeah.
Meridian's big up front. Meridian has Zeke Martinez as quarterback. And he can throw the ball. He stepped in when his brother was injured last year. He did a great job. But Nathan Reynolds, throw his name out there, playing linebacker and tight end. He's a big recruit out of the state of Idaho. A couple of offers we talked about. On the Rocky side, C.J. Jacobson with some big offers from Louisville, Nevada, North Carolina State. Logan, if you're listening, North Carolina State. BYU, Fulmer committed to K-State, the offensive tackle from Rocky Mountain. They have a lot of talent on that team.
And there was a penalty against Mountain View there at the end of the play. A little unsportsmanlike, so things getting chippy at the end of the game. It's going to back them up half the distance to the goal, make a 1st down and 10 from the 20, a 1st down and 10 from their own 10-yard line.
We talked about an honorable defeat with Rigby. It's pretty honorable. I mean, you guys fought, Mountain View fought and kicked and screamed and gave Rocky all they could handle right up into the end.
Yeah, it's just too much Rocky in the 4th quarter. Mountain View just either ran out of steam or Rocky just turned it on right there at the end, or maybe a combination of the 2. So that pass is complete to the near side. 5-yard pickup on the play to number 10. That's Colin Rogers.
Colin, a senior, taking his last stab at Rocky, but he did get a win last year versus Rocky.
So a little revenge here for the Grizzlies.
I'd say regular season revenge. I wouldn't be surprised if these 2 teams met up down the road.
Pass intended again for Rogers, just overthrown. Brings up 3rd and 5 now, with 1:09 left to go in the ball game.
Yeah, well, but a fun game, and we talked about the slugfest in the first half, and it was a little slow, and sloppy's not the right word, a little sleepy maybe instead of sloppy, but second half, boy, they came out kicking and screaming, a lot of penalties, big points, big conversions. Yeah,
that's going to be a hold. So that 1st down run there by Wall is going to come back.
Yeah, you and I both saw that.
Yep.
And you know who that was? That was the freshman again, Rowan Rupp.
Yeah, Keegan Henson getting busted there for the hold.
Yeah, but talk about your freshman, man. You gotta see. He's the type of kid that if you're the high school coach and you look at your ranks of the feeder junior highs and you say, "This kid's coming."
Yeah,
he's gonna be playing on my defensive line, and he's getting big time snaps coming in here. In a very meaningful game as a freshman. This kid is a senior.
Just crazy.
He probably still has an inch or 3 left in him.
Oh yeah, another 10, 15 pounds. Hits the weight room hard. Wall drops back under pressure in the end zone, is able to escape. Nowhere really to run, just kind of tucks the ball and tries to pick up positive yards. Gets out to the 13-yard line. Pickup of about 7 on the play. Be 4th and 7 now.
Clay, it's such it's a tough feeling. You feel terrible. you're trying your all, you're at the end, and you're scrambling around, the game's lost, and, everything's happening, and you get into the situation where you're trying to scramble for your life, you can't even make a completion, you just feel like the wheels fell off. But to be honest with you, Dawson Hall's played a great game.
Yeah, he really has. And it's going to be too little too late for him here at the end.
Yeah, and now it's just, like you said, the wheels are coming off, the frustration sets in, and that's your ball game.
So turn it over on downs with 11 seconds left. So Rocky offense will come out and just take victory formation and take that victory back across the freeway with them. So stick around, folks. At the end of the game, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back to present our IdahoSports.com player of the game and wrap things up here from Mountain View. Where are you next week? Do you know?
No, dang it. I don't know. I can look at this, though.
I'm at Middleton next week, from Meridian Middleton.
Oh, I think I'm doing it with you.
No, that's Logan next week with me.
With you?
Yeah.
Well, fine.
Unless they change something.
I don't know.
So there's the kneel down, and that will be your ball game, your final from Mountain View High School. The Rocky Mountain Grizzlies 37, the Mountain View Mavericks 21. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
Welcome back to Mountain View High School, where we just went final. Rocky Mountain Grizzlies 37, the Mountain View Mavericks 21. Rocky Mountain reclaims the Battle of the Mountains. They're going to get that trophy and hold on to it until next year. Congratulations to the Grizzlies. And after much discussion, congratulations to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Luke Lucchini. 100-plus yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. You really fought for him. Tell me why.
Yeah, I fought for him because he made critical plays when it mattered the most, when the game hadn't been decided, when the game needed something to change the momentum. He came up huge, and on top of that, he showed incredible athleticism, had some great big chunk grabs during that time period. He busted out some really long plays. He had the 57-yard touchdown, and then he had the 20-yard touchdown, and then he had another 57-yard touchdown that was called back. But again, just being able to flex, repeatedly on that team, showing what kind of receiver he really is. We argue Tegan Sweeney. I mean, he had a monster touchdown, the 50-yard touchdown run at the end. He had the 1-yard quarterback sneak, and he threw for those other 3, the one that was called back. Yeah. But I would say Lucchini did a phenomenal job of converting and executing when it mattered most, when the game was still on the line.
And I couldn't argue with that, so congratulations to Luke Lucchini, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Treasure Valley Game Night presented by Mountain West Bank and brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. It was also made possible by the great support from these local businesses: Evade Pest Control, Meridian Plumbing, College of Western Idaho, Big Judd's Meridian, Metro Appraisals, and Pacific Residential Mortgage. Special thanks to Athletic Director Kyle Dunphy and everyone here at Mountain View High School for their hospitality and help in getting this game broadcast to you, the viewers. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Luke Lucchini. Thanks again for joining us as the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies defeat the Mountain View Mavericks by a final score of 37-21. For my broadcast partner, Ryan Luke, and everyone behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Clay Hatfield. Have a great long weekend. Be safe out there, folks. We'll see you next week here on IdahoSports.com.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com